Welcome everyone to this Freaky Tales Friday. Want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. Everybody on the comments, everybody who's liking, subscribing, sharing, everybody who actually shared it and told somebody check this out tonight. I greatly appreciate you. And then there's people out there that are not on the live chat that just want to relax and watch it. So other than that, I just want to thank you once again. We got a good lineup tonight, and who else to have tonight with me to discuss movies other than the man himself, Afro.
Yo, Tony, what up, man?
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Can't complain, bro.
You know, the last time you were here, I had such a great time, and just to kind of give people an idea of why I ask you back is because when I first interviewed you on my other podcast, we kind of touched a little bit about movies, and I saw how, if I could say it this way, how educated you were in the movie genre, if you will. I just thought, this guy knows, and he's so young, he's such an old soul, he can keep up with me. So I said, you know what, he gave me a run for my money, let me bring him in.
I just consider myself a psychopathic movie nerd. Like I just, growing up, I would always put them in the memory banks. Like it would just naturally come through, you know?
Would you say that, do you believe you have a photographic memory?
Yeah, I would say so. Like to a certain degree, I would say maybe about 80% or so. Yeah.
I would say the same thing about me. I would say, because I could see things, and it's crazy because how I remember them, many times I could be talking to you and I'll close my eyes so I could see them. And it just does that. So a lot of times when you guys see me close my eyes, it's because I got to close my eyes so I can see what I'm saying, if you could understand that. But other than that, how you been, man?
No, I'm good, man. Just working on the music, keeping the movie watches steady. Every month I do, and when the first hits, I try to watch as many movies or television shows as I can in that 1 month. So I just round it up. I call it Fro Monthly Watches.
Monthly watches.
So I'm just trying to get the list going. Boom, boom, boom. It's probably like a good 2-3 movies a week, sometimes more. You know. Okay,
and can you give people your YouTube channel, because you do rate movies, if I'm correct?
Yeah, and they're mostly it's all personal thoughts and just like, hey, this is what after seeing the movie, I try to break down the things I liked and didn't like about it. But that's on YouTube. It's Fro Thizzle Reviews. That's THIZZLE.
Fro Thizzle Reviews. So definitely check that out. Also give him a follow on Instagram. But now, we can't start the show without something, Carol. In case you guys are asking me, I shouldn't give this plug because nobody sponsors me. And it kind of ticks me off because I'll be honest with you, some beers and some tequila here, pretty popular. Okay? And I've reached out to a lot of these companies, and they read my messages, but they don't respond. So this one, I tried it. It's a Mountain Dew. I just saw it, and it said, I guess has raspberry, some other flavors, but I like it because it looks like a blue icy I was sharing with you earlier. And since we're pretending we're at the movies, at the balcony, and we're gonna review certain zombie movies, you know, what else did they have something fun? So I brought something for you, like I did last time. Okay. I know we're not at the snack bar, but this is Tony A's snack bar. Okay. First and foremost, did you ever sneak liquor into the movies?
I have not had that luxury yet. I don't have that under my belt yet.
Okay, well, this one's for you, my friend.
Ooh, it's my favorite.
This is for
Tony.
you.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, you're welcome. So you sneak it in, and then you pop it. Everybody you look around, nobody's looking, and then you just take a mean old swig. Okay. Then, when you go by Tony's snack bar, Tony actually has popcorn for you. So I got you some caramel popcorn that you can munch while you watch your movies. Okay. Got a couple of other things here for you. I believe in blessing my guests, especially if we're going to talk about movies. I don't know if you like sour Skittles. Every once in a while, I have sour Skittles.
Thank you, brother. I rock with these.
Okay. Then, years ago, I took a girl out on a date. Years ago. We're talking about when the dinosaurs used to roam the earth. Okay. And I asked her, what do you want from the snack bar? She goes, just a Kit Kat. And I never forgot that. So here's a Kit Kat.
Thank you.
So make sure you eat that when you're watching your next marathon. Because the reason why I say marathon, guys, is because he just told me he just finished watching the Rocky Marathon. So
That's right.
and you can't go to the theater and not have some red wine, some licorice. You know, I love the way they smell. So
Classics.
and see, and I can't let you drink in the balcony all by yourself. So I'm trying to try something different today.
All right. Douce.
Yes. So I'm gonna try this, you guys. Look
Is
at
that a
this.
first for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Douce reminds me like it's like a neighbor to Hennessy. I wouldn't say exactly Hennessy, but like a neighbor to it.
Okay.
Kinda.
Okay. Like neighbors, do they live across the street or next to each other?
I would say like probably across the street. I like Douce.
Okay. Okay. So that's gonna be my first. Now, how am I supposed to drink something like that? Do I? Obviously, we're at the movies. We're gonna drink it straight out the bottle, but I'm gonna take it in little shot cups.
Nice. Yeah. It depends if you don't want to mix. I call like just straight up the liquor. I call that old man drinking.
Old man drinking.
Just straight up like straight liquor, no mix.
Absolutely.
But me, I teeter totter. I can do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, ginger ale, Jameson and ginger ale. That's my favorite.
Really? Okay. All right. That'll work. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So the first zombie movie, today we chose the topic of zombies because there's a lot of great zombie movies out there. And when I tell you which ones he picked, I picked 4, he picked 4, his blew me away. Okay. So let's go ahead and put up pick number 1. And when I say pick number 1, we're going to put that up on the screen. You guys let me know when it's up. And the first one is White Zombie. Ooh. And it's from 1932. Now, and the director, if I'm correct, Victor Halperin, is that how you?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Now, really quick, the budget for this one, even though it was a black and white movie,
right,
50,000. Mm-hmm. 50,000. Now, I believe the star was Bela Lugosi.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Now, if the budget was 50,000, okay, and it was made in 1932, I wonder if that was considered big back then, or was that a cheap movie back then?
I feel like 50,000 back then might have, I could be wrong, I suck at math, but my guess it'll probably round out about maybe 50,000 back then might have been like an easy 100, 200, 300,000 now. Okay. That's my guess though, maybe more. If you know, comment below. But
you know what, yeah. I would like to know what Bela Lugosi got paid for that movie.
I know in the trivia, from what I understand, he wasn't paid very much. He was very proud of White Zombie. White Zombie was one of his favorite films. Really? Bela Lugosi. And his son actually said that. And he said the pay that he got for White Zombie was not great. And he said he was a little pissed off about that.
Oh, okay.
But he loved the movie. He said he loved his performance. He loved how the movie turned out, and it was one of his favorite films.
Awesome. You know what? I'm not sure if it was his brother or who it was, but I met one of his family members there he was very old. Monster Palooza. You ever attend Monster Palooza?
It's on my bucket list. Like, I know what you're talking, because tons of actors, tons of like,
yes.
And creature designs. They have props there. It looks like a blast.
Now, I messed up because it was just this past weekend in Pasadena at the convention center.
Right.
Now they're going to have, which I think it's September, they have Son of Monster Palooza.
Okay.
But I met one of his relatives. I believe they said it was his brother. I don't know if it's true. It could have been his son. I'm not sure. But he was actually there signing the Lugosi name, and people were actually meeting him. So, okay, what intrigued you about this movie? What made you come across this 1932 zombie movie?
From what I understand, like growing up, I had known that it was the first film with the term zombie in the title. And that always intrigued me. I was like, oh, this is the first zombie film technically. Like, this one isn't flesh-eating zombies. Romero would be the one to popularize that around 68. But this one was voodoo Haiti zombies. Like, they wouldn't eat people. They would kill you off screen. But they had that blank stare, creepy voodoo stare in their eyes.
How old were you when you saw this?
I was about 13.
13 years old. And who played this for you?
There was something I just came across. Like, I was already on the Romero, and I had already seen the Romero films before. And White Zombie, when I started like finding out, when I came across that it was the first technical zombie, I was like, whoa, I'm going to that. Because I had always thought Night of the Living Dead was the first technically zombie film.
Right.
Like, it's the first flesh-eating one, but not the first, zombie.
Okay. Okay. I love Bela Lugosi. Okay,
me too. Yeah,
I really do.
One of my favorite actors.
Now, I believe it's my sister because she's like pretty big on TikTok, going to like so-called haunted locations. Okay, and I believe she went to go visit Bella's gravesite. Okay, now did you ever happen to see the movie that they made about Bela Lugosi? Ed Wood, played by Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
He did a great job.
I think Johnny killed it. And then Martin Landau, I think, played Bella, if
Yes.
I'm correct. Yeah.
What was your favorite, if you could remember, Bela Lugosi, played by Martin Landau, if you will, quote from that movie? Do you remember any of his quotes?
Off the top of my head?
Let me give you one, and it may trigger some. Remember? Pull the string.
No, yeah, pull this. It's a classic. That's a classic, though. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but Martin Landau, I think he won an award for that one.
If he didn't win the Oscar, he was nominated. I think he did win, though. I think he did win the Oscar, yeah.
Look, if you guys have not seen, honestly, Ed Wood, played by Johnny Depp, it's a black and white movie. And Ed Wood is considered, well, people, I don't know if it's a joke or they're just saying the worst.
The worst director, like one of the worst directors of all time. And Ed Wood did Glenn and Glenda. What else did he do? Plan 9 from Outer Space,
yes,
which is notoriously known as one of the worst movies of all time. And even for its time, you would see like the strings on a spaceship, like the people like controlling like the little strings trying to float it across the screen. Like it was really bad, but it's fun to laugh at. Like I love laughing at bad movies. So
yeah, but you know what I thought?
Ed Wood film is it's also directed by Tim Burton, if I'm correct.
Yes,
the Johnny Depp one.
Yes,
yeah.
And then they had that one girl, Vampira.
Was it Bonham Carter? Helena?
Yeah,
Helena Bonham Carter.
Man, how did they get her waist that thin in that movie? That
like,
was
probably you think they probably put her in like a metal corset or some shit like that?
Something like that,
Yeah.
because she was just like, not even like a Coke bottle. It just looked like, it was weird though, but it was a good movie. But now back to White Zombie. Okay. The thing that always creeped me out about Bella and why I thought he played such a great role, because it was just his face, it was his eyes, and then the thing that he would do with his hands.
Oh yeah, yes, sick. He just like the mind control thing, like the
Yes.
sick, yeah.
Now, can you tell us, if somebody wants to watch, tell us a little bit about it. What do you remember? What is the plot?
So the overall plot is it's a couple. They go over to like a lodge. And it's based in Haiti. The couple touches down in Haiti. They go to the lodge. They're driven by a black horse, like a stagecoach guy driver, and who does a great job for the 5-minute role. He's one of the first lines in the whole film. But they go to the lodge, and that one, the lodge is the guy who lives there is like this creepy guy, and he loves the girl, the wife in the couple. He's trying to go after her. And he's like, how do I get her to love me and stuff? So he goes to Bela Lugosi, who has this powder, and he's the one controlling the zombies in the film. Like Bela Lugosi's the puppet master. And he has this powder. He's like, put it in the woman's drink in order for her to love you. He does so, but it kills her, and that's not what he really expected. He's, it turns her into a zombie. And then by the end of the film, he's like, it was my mistake. I shouldn't have done it, blah, blah, blah. And Bela Lugosi's trying to kill the husband in the couple, and it's just awesome, man. It's a really creepy film, because watching the film, you hate the guy at the lodge. You hate the guy. You're like, yo, this guy's like a really slimy kind of guy, like wanting to drug this woman pretty much, but turn her into a zombie, you know. And but Bella is easily the highlight. Bela Lugosi bodies the film. Like it's his mannerisms, his acting, his creepy ass smile.
Yes,
like he's in the bag.
His eyebrows.
He's in the bag within this film. Yeah.
Yes, another Bela Lugosi that I don't know if you've ever seen it. If you haven't seen it, I always put it on. When my kids were kids, now I'm gonna put it for my grandbabies. It's a comedy movie. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Yeah, I love that film.
It's got Bela Lugosi, I believe, Lon Chaney, who plays the werewolf.
Yep.
And if I'm correct, Boris Karloff, Frankenstein.
That's right.
Classic movie. Creepy, spooky comedy.
Yeah.
You know.
And what's cool is that you have 3 titans at that time. Like Lon Chaney was a titan. Bela Lugosi was a titan. Like these guys were like super. Well, these were the guys for their time, well respected, especially in the horror genre.
Yeah.
Those were Boris Karloff. Those were the guys, you know.
And it's crazy because in the Ed Wood movie, they made Bela Lugosi like hate Boris Karloff. So I don't know if there was actually a real beef there.
Man, you know what's funny is I haven't researched that that too much, but I can see it because like it feels like maybe there was just there's only like 3 of us like in this like transforming the genre for that time.
Right.
So I was like, man, maybe they're still my shine a little bit. Maybe I can see that a little bit.
Okay, so that one is one of Afro's favorite zombie movies.
Love that film.
Okay, let's go to pick number 2. And when I say pick number 2, that's for my guy to put the poster up. The next one is Night of the Living Dead, 1968 film.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And that one is George A. Romero.
That's my favorite director of all time. That's my favorite filmmaker.
That budget was, according to this source, $114,000. Okay, so now I want you to get a picture of this guy. He likes 1932 movies, and he likes 1968 movies, the year that I was born. This guy's an old soul, and this guy knows what he's talking about, especially when it comes to movies. So, Night of the Living Dead. Tell us a little bit about it. How did you find out about this film? Being so young, what attracted you? What were your thoughts when you saw this movie?
So I was around like 8 or 9 years old, and I saw it creep up on, I don't know if it was the Sci-Fi Channel, maybe Chiller, one of those like horror movie channels at the time. And I think I might have even had DirecTV at the time. And this movie popped up. I'm like, yo, it was pretty creepy to me. It was black and white. It was one of the first black and white films I had ever saw. I wasn't used to it. So that alone gave me that like that alone made me like really intrigued in what kind of film is this? So
yeah.
Night of the Living Dead was my introduction to black and white films. But not only that, I was already a zombie guy. I had seen the Dawn of the Dead remake before I even saw the original Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, really?
Because I saw Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder, 2004 in theaters, and I was 7 years old. And I saw that one in theaters. So that was one of the first zombie films I ever saw. But fast forward to Night of the Living Dead, I was like, yo, there was something about the writing. It was crazy seeing how far the black guy was surviving in the film, because I was used to seeing black folks just immediately die, first, second guy to die in the film.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, and he's slapping the white woman around. He's like, you can be boss down there and boss up here. I'm like, whoa, this movie's awesome. I'm like, this movie's sick. I'm just loving the dialogue. And I'm loving how it's panning out. And then when the ending came, that shocked the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this dude just survived everything just to be mistaken for a zombie and get murked by the hillbillies. I'm like, what the? I was mindful. I was like probably staring at the TV for like 10 minutes, like, what the fuck just happened? And that was one of his intentions, was to shock the audience, to be like, and to also show that despite you fighting and you standing your ground the whole night, that one little thing like these fucking hillbillies can just mess everything up and just kill everything, you know? Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is that let me ask you this. As far as black and white movies, you had said that you had seen the remake, I guess, or the one you saw before this one.
Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Dawn of the Dead, okay. Watching that one full color and then going back and watching a black and white movie as a youngster, did it bother you? Like, why isn't there no color?
It was one of the first thoughts at first, but it was really quick for me to get over. It was something about Night of the Living Dead was like a certain quality or a certain like energy to it, where I was like, yo, the music was drawing me in too. Like I remember being like, yo, the acting's, I love the acting, love the music, because I was already like a fucking movie nerd by then. Like right. 8 or 9 years old, I was already a little mini movie nerd. So then, yeah, everything was drawing me in, music, acting, and the energy to that film, you know.
Yeah.
It just has that classic. It felt like educated watching it, in a weird sense, you know.
You know what I don't remember. Maybe you could help me out, because on some of them, you know, when I started going over this list that we were going to go over tonight, I started asking myself, like, a lot of them briefly in the very beginning, talk about how they turn into zombies.
Right.
In the Night of the Living Dead, I don't recall. Did it say in the very beginning how they became zombies?
It doesn't say exactly how, from my recollection. They just right off the bat say they're coming up. They're turning into to flesh eaters. Like, that's all. They just start from there.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
Now, watching that movie, because today I went back to refresh my memory, and I was watching it on. I was watching some of the trailers on YouTube. Okay, and one thing that really intrigued me was some of these damn people that were acting like these zombies were doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, they look very like the way they're staggering around, just the way they're creepy. Like they transferred the creepy, empty, blank face look from White Zombie, but they kicked it up a notch being flesh eaters. So it's like that just adds a little more creepiness to it. They would already be creepy if they weren't flesh eaters, but adding that, you're just like, around that time, it terrified audiences.
Yes, it did.
Changed the game.
Yes, it did. Now, do you think you could? We're talking about Night of the Living Dead. You could have played one of those zombies.
I would have loved to. Yeah, I would have loved
Yeah.
to.
Would you do it now?
Yeah, I would do it. I would love to play a zombie.
Me too. Me too. But don't kill me off too fast. Just don't kill me off. Like Tony was in there, and then we didn't like it, so we had to cut him, and he ended up on the floor. So now I get to be part of a movie that I'm never in. So okay. That was, once again, in 1968. So the first one was White Zombie, you guys, and then it was, that was 1932, Night of the Living Dead, 1968. We definitely recommend, if you're into zombie movies.
Right. If you're overall into zombie films, if they intrigue you, or if you're just a zombie nerd like me, or just, check them out.
Because the last thing that I wanted for somebody to say, Tony, that movie sucked. Well, yeah, I mean, if you like Caddyshack and you like watching that, which is a great movie, and you're not into like zombie movies, you're not going to find them intriguing. Yeah. So,
and if you're not a big fan of like black and white films, if you think they're a bit slow or they're a little slow burnish, I can understand, because we're used to very fast paced, like boom, 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 fast cuts, edits, and stuff in our modern films. But there is a really nice magic to the black and white films. There's a really it's very educational, at least to me. And if you think they're whack, I understand if they're a bit slow, slow for the attention,
but let me warn you guys, the movie that we recommended, Ed Wood, with Johnny Depp and Martin Landau, it is a black and white movie.
Yep.
It's great though. Believe me, it's great. But you'll be watching the movie and totally forget that it's even black and white.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Okay. So that was another one of his favorites. Okay. The next one is, can we go to pick number 3? This is movie number 3, and this is Dawn of the Dead, 1978. Director George A. Romero, and the budget was $640,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
600. So now we're getting closer to the millions.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is 1978. I'm 10 years old when I saw this. And I still remember where I saw that. I was born in 68. It was down the street right here in the city of Carson, right across, for those of you guys that are familiar with the harbor area here, there's some homes called Scottsdale. Right across the street was a theater. It was 2 theaters. Well, one theater that had 2 theaters inside, okay? And you paid $1 to get in. And you get to watch 2 movies, okay?
Sick, for $1.
For $1.
Sick, that's awesome.
So we went in to watch Dawn of the Dead, okay, and The Exorcist.
Oh, wow, it's a double feature?
It was double features.
That's a sick
for
double
$1.
feature.
Now, if you can get out of that theater and walk around while the crowd is coming in, you can sneak into the other one, and then watch whatever, party of... let me not get into that, because one time I said I didn't want to watch The Exorcist, so I went and watched another one, and it was somewhat of an adult film.
Oh, it was like, did they trick you?
Yes.
Yeah, that happens. They trick you because they have the spoof names for they'll make like a porno after a movie, and they'll trick you.
Yeah, that's what they did. So this one is Dawn of the Dead, and this one, now we're still having slow walking zombies, okay, and they're flesh eaters.
Yeah, and flesh eaters. Yep.
Okay. But this is the one where they run to the mall, okay? And I really, really, really enjoyed this one, even though I thought it was freaking, crazy. I thought it was scary as a 10-year-old kid watching these people with crazy faces, and then, I mean, here's the crazy part. Let's just say that me and you grew up together and we're in the midst of the zombie apocalypse, okay? You get bit, maybe just a small bite. Now I know there's a certain amount of time before you die, and then you come back.
As a zombie, right.
As a zombie, and you, being my friend, would tell me, Tony, kill me.
Right.
And that's the hardest part that I saw in this movie, was when a certain person had to kill someone that they possibly loved.
Oh, yeah. It was, and that scene's phenomenal. And the acting done in that scene's really haunting. And can we spoil it, or should we not spoil it?
Yes, go ahead.
So there's a scene where Ken Foray has to shoot down his buddy Roger, and that scene's really hard to watch because Roger's a kick-ass character. You love the guy, like he's a shoot 'em up guy.
Yes.
And the duo together are sick, like Ken Foray and Roger. So it's a really hard to watch scene in a way, especially for me. Like the way Roger rises up, he rises up as the zombie, looks around for a second, and then looks at Ken Foray. That always got to me. And then you can see Ken Foray's really messed up too. You're just like, damn, I got to shoot my buddy,
Yes. Yes. It's a very hard scene to watch, but you know what? I always have to. I mean, as a kid, it's hard, but you always have to remind yourself it's a movie. And one day, I went to the movies as a kid with an older cat. He was my brother's friend. And he goes, come on, let's go to the movies. I'll treat you. All right, cool. Buy me a hot dog, popcorn. We were chilling. And we were watching a movie. I don't recall the movie that we watched, but I know the other feature was Jaws.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But the movie, I remember I got scared. And I got so scared, I grabbed him. And he always told me this. Tony, remember. He goes, it's just a movie. And I have to remind it's just a movie. Because when we're young, we get captivated, we get drawn in. Yeah. You know, and we almost become somewhat of a part of the movie where we leave and then you're influenced by it. Like, for an example, my younger brother saw Rambo, it was over. He wore a camouflage pants, he walked around with a machete. He really thought he was Rambo.
Right.
So some of these movies can influence you in a good way, in a bad way, or in a comical way, I guess.
When I was, my family could tell you when I was in kindergarten, no, when I was in first grade, I was a big Austin Powers guy. And still am. One of my favorite, like all three of them, I'm a fan of all three. But as a kid, I would literally dress up as Austin Powers. That's how much I love the guy. And the same thing, my favorite movie character of all time is Ernest P. Worrell. Like Ernest goes to camp, Ernest Scared Stupid. So I would dress up as him as well as a kid because I really thought I was this fucking guy. I was like, yo, I'm Ernest. But, you know, this goofy kid with an afro. Or, you know, but that was me. And I know how that feels.
John Cena's starting to look like Ernest.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're trying to. There's a lot of memes that have been going on with John Cena as Ernest. So I don't know how to feel about that.
I know, me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. Okay. So once again, that was another one of his favorite movies. We recommend if you have not watched it.
Fantastic.
Once again, Dawn of the Dead, 1978. I enjoyed it as a kid. You know, here's the thing about certain movies like this, and this is why we're saying if you're not a zombie guy, probably not going to enjoy it.
Right.
Because I played movies for my son, you know. Now he's 32. Dad, those effects are sorry. That's terrible.
I could see that.
And I'm like, okay, mijo, what's one of your favorite movies? And he said, The Matrix. I said, okay, wait till you have your kid. And he's 32. And then he tells you this. Dad, that scene where he went like, and dodges bullets, that was sorry.
Right.
I can't believe you.
The technology keeps getting, as far as like the films, for the most part, they're getting more advanced. Yes. And but with me, I will happily take practical effects in Dawn of the Dead over CGI fests. Like let's say like just tons of our films nowadays, especially with the gore and the blood and guts, are super CGI, computer blood.
Big time.
And I hate computer blood. There are some rare occasions where I'm like, yo, I didn't mind that CGI gore at all. I was like, because the movie was very fun. But that's rare for me. Like 9 times out of 10, when I see CGI blood, I'm just like, oh my God, I hate it. So I'll happily take the practical effects.
Me too.
And I love them. I think the practical effects, as goofy as they can be in a film like Dawn of the Dead, and they can feel a bit dated. I can see people saying that. For me, I have a blast still. I'm like, yo, I love it. I love that shit.
Me too. Okay, so let's go with pick number 4. This is movie number 4, and this is one of his favorite movies. This is Day of the Dead, 1985. Director again. George A. Romero. Budget was about $3.4 million, they said. So now we're in the millions. Okay, 1985. So once again, we covered a movie from 1932, White Zombie, 1968, Night of the Living Dead, 1978, Dawn of the Dead, 1985. Here we have Day of the Dead. So once again, Day of the Dead. Let the people know what that movie is about.
So real quick, this is super personal. Day of the Dead is my favorite film of all time. I'm not joking. Like this film is my favorite movie of all. I can watch this movie 1,000 times and never get old, never get tired of it. I know every single line of dialogue. I know every cue. I know every character. Like this is Fro's ultimate favorite movie. But the movie. So this one's about Romero. He took it a different level because with Dawn, it felt a bit bigger. you know, with the mall and the mall setting. Night of the Living Dead was a bit smaller with the farmhouse, but Day of the Dead, when you think about it, I think about 90% of the film is in a bunker. It's with these soldiers. And the thing why I love this movie so much is I think this is Romero's dialogue at his best. I think it's the best written characters. We have a kick-ass lead female character, Sarah. She kicks ass. She's not taking anybody's shit. We have a great villain, Joseph Pilato, who's killing it as Captain Rhodes, one of my favorite villains of all time. Might be my favorite villain. And everybody in this film has just such a great personality. Yes. Everybody's a great character. Everybody, even the scumbags in this film, have some of the best dialogue I've ever heard in a movie. Like we have Steele, Rickles, when they're going back and forth. They're calling the crazy laboratory guy Dr. Frankenstein. He's the one experimenting on the zombies. And the one that was different with this one is Romero dwelled more into the memories of zombies, and zombies were kind of remembering who they were. Like this one's a little bit of a funky concept, but I think Romero did a great job with this. It was Bub, the main zombie in this film, is my favorite zombie of all time.
Really?
All time. And the reason why I think I usually like my zombies mean and bloodthirsty and tearing out guts, but with Bub, it was like the most sympathetic zombie of all time. Like, you're like, yo, he's remembering who he is. I love the relationship between him and Dr. Frankenstein, because Frankenstein's teaching him how to, like, little things like how the razor works, how books are read. And you see Bub taking interest. He even picks up a phone, tries to, like, talk to, like, his Aunt Felicia or something. And I think Romero killed it on this aspect, whereas it could have easily been really goofy. And I think it was a little bit goofier in the further film he did called Land of the Dead, which I still enjoy. People hate that one, but I really enjoy it. But that one was a little bit goofier on that aspect of zombies remembering stuff. I think Day of the Dead felt a little bit more like, I would say bleak, but more interesting and more darker. It felt more darker. Well, I was like, wow, like just how that's done, and how the actor Sherman Howard's playing Bub is just fantastic. Bub is easily my favorite zombie. And Day was different on that. I think Day might have been the first film where zombies kind of do remember stuff in a way, you know? And not all zombies, mainly Bub is the main one in the film that's remembering shit. But and then later I'm seeing zombies in later films where they're like, oh, I kind of remember how to open the doorknob. I'm like, that's all Romero. That's all Romero started that.
Yeah. You know what? So one thing that I want you to, if you will, if not remind those that have seen it, but remind me, was this doctor, I'm trying to remember, because out of all four of them that we talked about so far, this is the only one that's not coming to me right now. Was he treating them to hopefully get them back to become normal?
That was Frankenstein's objective. It didn't work at the end of the film. It only worked with Bub. Like, he succeeded with Bub. But as far as the other ones, he said, since we're hunkered down in this bunker, and since we have no way of getting out, we're like 1 to a million. On technical terms, all of us are like 1 to like a million zombies. He said the only way that he felt that he can get the zombies to back down and to not go after us as like looking at us like a pile of guts is to get them to remember who they are. And that was Frankenstein's route. And on paper it can seem goofy, but on the film it's done well because he turns so psychotic. He's like on his journey to trying to get this done, he literally loses it. He loses it on that journey trying to figure out how we can trigger them to not eat us.
In this movie, and if I'm correct, because this is the question that I've asked you about the Night of the Living Dead, do they tell us once again how they became zombies? I don't think he did.
But this one, he went into a little bit more detail, but at the same time, what I love about Romero is that he didn't outright say this is why they turn into zombies.
Right.
He left it in a cool way. He left it to the audience to be like, hey, put your 2 and 2 together. What do you think? And a little ambiguous. He does feed us some information like the memory stuff and some cool little thoughts like that. But for the most part, I think what makes it a bit creepy is how ambiguous a little bit it is.
Okay.
I think it makes it creepy.
The reason why I asked is because one zombie movie that is not on my list, could have easily been on my list, but it didn't make it, was I Am Legend. Okay. Because Will Smith was a doctor, but in the very beginning, if you can recall, there was somebody who cured cancer. If you remember, I Am Legend, the lady said that's been interviewed. She said, well, we've been working on this for so long time. And then the journalist asked her, well, how many patients have you tried this on? And then I believe, don't quote me on it, but I believe she said, oh, like 1,000. She goes, oh, how many have been healed? 1,000. He goes, so you found the cure for cancer? And she said, yes. And then all of a sudden, it's just like a desolate road in New York. So it kind of tells us that shot didn't
pan out as well, as well as they wanted it to.
Right.
Or,
so that kind of tells us without telling us what happened. That's why I was asking. I don't recall in Day of the Dead if Romero ever told us how it happened.
Yeah, it was like he did. I love that. Like he didn't flat out say this is why it happened.
Right.
You know, it was like he just went into like a really cool study with it. Like trying to figure out ways of how they operate instead of how they started, you know?
Okay. And once again, that one was 1985. Now we're going to go ahead and go ahead. And
it's personally Fro's nerdy favorite movie of all time. I can see people watching this like, why? But it's super personal. It's just, I think it's I give that movie an 11 out of 10. I think it's fantastic. It's just some of my favorite dialogue ever in a film ever.
Okay, so remember, White Zombie, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead are Fro's favorite. Okay,
I would say that'd probably be my Mount Rushmore. Yeah, I would say that's my Mount Rushmore.
Okay,
of zombies, Mount Rushmore zombies.
And 3 of these are George Romero's.
Yeah, and that's my guy. That's my favorite filmmaker. I actually have, if you can't see, I have his name right here. R.I.P. George A. Romero. That's my guy.
No, you can't see it.
Oh, yeah. If you can't see it, but yeah, it's on my arm.
Can you scoot over just a little bit this way, if possible? If possible. Let me see.
Boom.
I don't know if you can.
If you guys can't, no worries, but it's right.
Yeah, R.I.P. George Romero. Now move your seat just a little bit. Get a little bit more into the screen. Okay, if you can, please. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, watch out for your bottle over there. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to dabble into my 4 favorite, okay? Mine is a little bit different, okay? One of them starts off 1988. So mine are fairly a little bit newer than his. And one of them is called Serpent and the Rainbow.
Wes Craven.
Yes, Serpent and the Rainbow, and that's directed by Wes Craven. Once again, it was 19.6 million, okay? The budget was, okay? And one thing that I really liked about this, because it was the first of its kind. I went to go see it at a theater with my best friend growing up. His name is Angel, here from the city of Wilmington. We went to the Lama Mall, and we went to go see it. And he goes, "You want to go check out this movie?" I didn't know what the hell it was. The movie poster intrigued me. Had a guy that was being buried alive.
Right. Yeah.
So right away, I wonder, why is this guy being buried alive? Well, the movie starts off, and I forget what his occupation is, but he's in Boston, and he's approached by, I guess, I'm assuming his 2 colleagues, and they tell him, here's a picture of a man that died, I believe, 10 years ago, and here's a picture of the same man seen 7 years later, like just recently. He's alive. So he's thinking to himself, like, well, maybe, wrong body, wrong name, mix-up. And he says, no, this man was brought back to life. He was buried dead. And in the very beginning of the movie, I know I'm spoiling it, but I'm trying to give you a picture of it. They bury him, and then now he's seen alive several years later, okay? So they ask him to go to Haiti.
Yep, Haiti.
And to pretty much get the remedy, get the...
a powder, like a powder.
Yes. Why are these people coming back to life? Or they say he's a zombie, and then some people say, or maybe he's not a zombie, but he is back to life. So now... one thing that I found out, that in the movie, when somebody blows, I believe, this powder in your face.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you, if you will, die, there's no more brain waves. There's no more heart rate.
Yep.
Nothing. And you're gone. You're dead. So what happens is they bury you. Okay. But here's the kicker. You're still alive. You're still alive. And then if you're managed to get out within a couple of years, when you zap out of it, if you will, now you're seen walking the streets and people refer to you as a possible zombie. Yeah. When did you first see that?
Oh, I was easy, I'm going to say 15 or 16.
Okay, and from what you can remember, what were your thoughts about that?
I thought what you just said was one of the creepiest things about it was how like how they're getting buried alive and how they're still alive. That was one of the things where I vividly remember, like, oh, like gave me always like a really creepy, gross feeling, you know?
Yeah, it does, because if you watch the movie in the very beginning, he's in a different, he's in like in some land. I don't remember because, and I don't want to give it all away, but he takes a psychedelic.
Yeah.
And he sees like I believe like a jaguar chasing him, but it's not really there. Then the earth swallows him up, but he never really swallowed. And he sees so many things. My thing is this, like, first and foremost, why would you take something like that when the guy told you, take this, I want you to see something? If somebody told me that, no,
That's
thank
a
you.
no-go. Yeah, it's a no-go. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good on that, boss.
Yeah. So finally, they actually made an example of this guy because he was literally trying to take this remedy, this powder, and take it back to the U.S., you know? And I guess they punished him for it because they blew it in his face.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say. I recommend it.
Awesome film. I love it. I love Serpent in the Rainbow.
Yes.
That's one of my, that's like probably top 4, top 3 Wes Craven film for me. I really love Serpent in the Rainbow.
Yes. For those of you who don't know who Wes Craven is, he did
the Scream films.
Yes.
The Scream films, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
The very first one.
Great director. So this is how I was first, well, other than Freddy, how I was introduced to Wes Craven other films.
That's an awesome introduction. And Wes, strangely, there's been a couple filmmakers or actors that have passed on my birthday, and Wes Craven's one of them. Wes passed on my birthday, and I was pretty fucked up over that. I was like, damn, Wes, damn. And one of my favorite actors recently, Chadwick Boseman, he passed it like 2 hours before my birthday, and he was my favorite actor of his generation. So that one stung a bit. And Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, died on my birthday. Pretty freaky shit. And they're guys I really enjoy. There's guys I love. I'm like, damn, you know. So, yeah, my birthday's sadly a fucking anniversary.
If you don't mind me asking, what year were you born, man?
I was 97.
And okay. This guy's a baby, man. Okay, okay. And for him to know all of this just shocks me. But I'm thankful that I have somebody like that to be able to talk zombie movies with you guys. So this is about, I guess, zombieism. Once again, Serpent in the Rainbow, and this is something that I've been wanting to cover and talk about for a long time. And I don't want to give it away. As a matter of fact, if you're okay with Spanish subtitles, it's actually for free on YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
So you could definitely check that out. You'll definitely turn on your TV, Serpent in the Rainbow. Definitely enjoy it. It will creep you out. I will say this.
Yeah, it's a pretty freaky watch. Like, it does give you like a really unsettling feeling when you're watching it. Absolutely.
Okay, so then, and you know what? Let me say this before we go on. If you guys do watch these movies, because we recommended them, leave a comment, you know, once this video is up. You know, Tony Afro, I went to go watch it. You're right. I'm a zombie guy. Or you could say it totally sucked, but also admit maybe you don't like zombie movies. Okay? Don't just say it just sucked.
Yeah, just, you know, let us know if it wasn't your cup of tea. It was like, hey, it was a bit slow. Didn't really care for it. Didn't care for the effects. Just, you know, that'd be cool to just talk back and forth, see your thoughts too, you know? Absolutely.
So my next one is a 2013 World War Z. Okay. And that one is director Mark Forster.
Yeah, Forster.
And then the box office on that one, well, actually, the budget on that one was $40 million.
Yeah, it was pretty big, yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you why I like this one. I'm not a big Brad Pitt guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. I think he's a good actor. I'll even go as far, I think he's a great actor. But when I saw Troy... You know, it's like, what you trying to look sexy for, bro? You know, I'm trying to enjoy this movie, this great movie. I love Troy, but this guy jumps up, does the splits in the middle air, stabs somebody. You know, they show him scenes of him naked. I'm like, bro, we don't need all that. Like, seriously, we don't. I get it. I understand. It's for the women.
He's a poster boy.
Yeah, he's a poster boy. Okay. You know, so I'm like, I'm just, for an example. I liked Gladiator. Nobody had six packs, but in this movie, everybody has six packs.
Gladiator was pretty grimy, yeah. Gladiator felt grimier, too. Yeah.
And in the movie 300, everybody has six packs. You know, it's like, okay,
and
cool.
slow-mo, too. So you're like, get the slow-mo on the abs and stuff. And
yes.
Yeah.
So now, this is a different Brad Pitt if you haven't, if you haven't seen World War Z. He actually starts off, his kids jump on his bed. He's a family man. He actually cooks breakfast for his kids. I believe he's taking them to school. And then it starts off quick.
Pops off. Yeah. It's really fast paced.
Yes.
World War Z is really fast paced.
Yeah, it's not going to be one of those movies that you're going to wait 30 to 40 minutes for it to get going, like immediately.
Yeah, once it starts, it just keeps going. Yeah.
Yes.
It's really fast.
That's one thing that I like about it, because what really scared the hell out of me was when the cop, he's in traffic, I believe in New York. The cop passes by, knocks out his mirror.
Yeah.
You know, so he's like, what the hell? Gets out of his car and he's looking. He asks people, hey, do you know what's going on? No, he gets back in his car. All of a sudden, a mean-ass truck, goes on and smashes every car. Follows them. I'm not trying to spoil the film, but here's the crazy part. All of a sudden, it looks like a big-ass rumble in the middle of the street. And he's trying to figure it out, but he's seeing people are being bit.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part, because these zombies, unlike a lot of the other movies, these zombies run.
Yeah, they run. They're super frenzied. They're super like Usain Bolt zombies,
Yes, exactly. And I'll tell you one part that intrigued me. And I thought to myself, like, why is he doing that? He saw somebody get attacked. Brad Pitt saw somebody get attacked. He gets bit. The guy dies. And as he's running, he's turning around and he's counting. He's turning around, he's counting. And he comes up with a number of when that guy dies and then becomes a zombie. And the reason why I think that was important was because a zombie attacks him and he drops blood in Brad Pitt's mouth. Yeah. He's about to commit suicide and he's counting, because if he turns into a zombie, he just wants to kill himself, because if not, he'll end up killing his family. But I really, really like that movie because it's fast paced. So that's definitely one of my favorite zombie movies. I have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and without spoiling too much, I do like the ending with how Brad Pitt like flips it. Like, without going into too many spoilers, I do like how the finale's done and how he manages to really, kind of escape through it. It's a really cool sequence, especially involving Brad Pitt and a ton of zombies. It's really dope.
Yeah.
World War Z was surprising to me because the thing that threw me off wasn't really the fast zombies, because I had really enjoyed Dawn of the Dead, the remake previously, and their frenzied zombies. Right. But World War Z more so. World War Z felt like speeding, running zombie ants, like a bunch of ants together, and especially the scene where they're climbing up together on that wall. And it's a freaky image. Like, they reminded me like of ants, how they use each other to just climb up. But what threw me off was the PG-13 rating. That's what I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna love this film. I remember being very apprehensive about it. Then when I caught it, I was like, I really enjoyed this film. I did. Yeah. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. And I thought, Brad Pitt did a good job. The zombies are pretty menacing, really fast. I thought it was pretty brutal for PG-13. And I like the badass chick who, I don't want to spoil it, but there's I think she's like a Latina chick. She's badass. She kicks ass in the film. The airplane sequence is crazy with the grenade. That shit's crazy. Like, I like that film.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And I like the fact that no matter what, because when I put myself in situations like him, like that movie, for an example, he's got his family with him, and he's got his wife, he's got his kids, and his number one objective is protect my family. And, he makes his own weapon at that guy's apartment, and then they come pick him up on top of the roof, and then just going up is just creepy and crazy, man. But it's a good movie. If you guys want to watch it,
enjoy it.
Yeah, a good movie, World War Z with Brad Pitt. And I really enjoyed it because how often do we really get to see an actor like him in these type of movies?
Yeah, and I would like to see him do more. I would like to see someone like a Brad Pitt do more of those type of films. Yeah.
Me too, because we're used to seeing them in what is that, Vegas? What was that Vegas movie? 13?
Ocean's 11, 12, 13.
Yeah, I mean, those are cool, don't get me wrong, but I like these kind of movies. Like, who I wish I could see maybe in one, and we kind of did, but I didn't think it was a hit. What's his name? Tom Cruise in The Mummy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I would love to see Tom Cruise involving like zombies or vampires or something like that kind of realm. I would like to see that.
Now, let me ask you, since you brought up vampires, he was in...
the interview with the vampire, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give me your thoughts, because I just thought it was a cool movie. Here's what I didn't like, and I'm going to tell you why. Why I didn't like it, and maybe it was a spoiler for me. They had Antonio Banderas, and then they had Tom Cruise. Okay,
Yeah, Tom Cruise. Yeah.
all I heard when that movie come out, oh my God, they're so fine. And I'm like, they're fucking vampires. You know, like I'm trying to see a good movie. I'm not trying to see a fine dude because you keep saying these. To me, it just, you know, I'm not trying to see a sexy vampire.
So I just want to see a brutal vampire.
Yeah.
Like a brutal. I love John Carpenter's vampires because it's so brutal, like it's gory mayhem. I love that type of vampire flick.
Okay.
The thing I hated, like I enjoy that film, but one thing turns me off about that film is where they have Brad Pitt kiss like 12-year-old Kirsten Dunst. Like at the time, she was only like 9 or 10 or 11 years old. And I think Brad Pitt's like 30, 25 at the time. I hate when Hollywood does that type of shit in the film.
It's almost like they throw that in there on purpose.
And it does go over people's heads. Like those will be the same chicks that are like, I love that scene. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I hate scenes like that in films. But I do like the film mainly because Tom Cruise is good. I'm a fan of Antonio Banderas. I do like Brad Pitt as an actor. But it's just Hollywood does shit like that, you know?
Yeah. But you know what? I don't want to spoil too much on vampires because hopefully, if we can ever get together again in the future, I want to cover vampire.
I would love to. I got an easy 10 that I love, 10 vampire films, maybe even more.
Heck yeah. Okay, so once again, mine so far have been Serpent in the Rainbow, 1988, World War Z, 2013. Now another one, 2004. Okay, I think I gave them in reverse. I should have covered the 2004 before the 2013. My mistake. But before World War Z, I had Dawn of the Dead, the remake.
Zack Snyder, yeah.
2004, okay? And Zack Snyder, the budget, I believe, was $28 million, okay? So this one I liked because, again, these zombies run.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a bit menacing, and they're menacing, too.
Yeah. And they look more human. And I'm not to take away anything from World War Z, because World War Z, those zombies look a lot like I Am Legend zombies.
Yeah, they felt CGI. They're computerized.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are actually people and running after your ass. Now, the reason why I found this so creepy, because many of you guys, since we're on Freaky Tales, I know I have had dreams where somebody's chasing you.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Because, and believe me, there's been times, and I probably have once a week where I wake myself up by kicking my leg because I'm running from something. You know, sometimes, believe it or not, it's some demonic being in my sleep. Sometimes it's a zombie. Sometimes it's just some evil presence that I'm running from.
I get zombie nightmares all the time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Ever since I was young. Yeah.
Now, do you think it's because of the so much zombie movies that we have locked up here?
I think so. I think that's definitely a part of it. Like I've had nightmares ever since I can count, like 9 years old, and that checks out because that was around the time where I saw Dawn of the Dead in theaters at 7 when I was 7. So, and that was around the time when I started getting that zombie bug bite, where I started really loving zombie films. And they would creep in my nightmares, bro. Yeah, still to this day, I still get them. You know?
So you were 7 years old when you saw this?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was in the theater freaking out too. Like now, I've reviewed 2004 Dawn of the Dead, and I love it. This is one of my favorite films. Like, I really love this film. But at the time, I was 7, and my mom could tell you, he was crying through the damn whole movie. Like, no. When the fat lady zombie comes up, like that scene freaked me out the most. The zombie baby scene, now I kind of giggle at it a little bit now. But when I was in the theater as a kid, that freaked me the fuck out. I was like, what the fuck? Like, crazy. Yeah.
The part, and you want a movie that's going to start off quick. Once again, Dawn of the Dead 2004. If I'm correct, remember the couple are in bed. The husband hears something, opens the door, and it's a fucking little girl zombie.
It's the rollerblade girl, little girl from before. Anna, the nurse chick, the main chick, when she's driving home in the beginning, she comes across this little girl. She's like, "Hey, how are you?" Rollerblading. That same little girl just pops up in the hallway after the couple gets it on in the shower. He wakes up. Girl's in the hallway, and it's just immediately just jumps and bites the shit out of his neck. It just tears out his neck.
Immediately. You don't got to wait 30, 40 minutes for it to get good. It starts off immediately.
Like the first 2 minutes, first 3 minutes. Yeah.
Seriously. And then she comes out the house, and here's the part that creeps me out. because just to have been there and to maybe see the making of it, when she comes out of the house, she sees these zombies running to the house across the street. These zombies running over here, helicopters. You hear sirens, and I'm like, what the hell? Because you really think about it. If you put yourself in her situation, where would you go?
Yeah, it's a freaky thought because the whole city is on flames and literally the buildings are on fire. When she's driving, a car plunges into the gas station, the fucking gas station explodes. It's literally mayhem. And the fact how fast these zombies are, it's literally like a snap of a finger. This guy, boom, 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 boom. One guy's a zombie, 5 minutes later, 30 are. It's like extremely fast.
Yeah, and I think one of the hardest parts watching zombie movies is that many times for those that remain human to be able to kill someone that
Oh yeah, it's your family, it's your best friend, it's your son, it's your daughter, your mother, yeah,
or a little kid.
Oh yep.
And that's the hard part. It's like, how do you do that? And it's funny because the humans are crying, and because they don't want to do it, but they have to.
Yeah.
And of course they end up meeting at the mall. The one that tripped me out, this is not really a scary scene, but do you remember that guard that was in that little puddle of water inside?
Yeah. He attacks the pregnant chick, and then he attacks Ving Rhames. They start wrestling in the water fountain, and I like how it was creepy how the guy was twitching and shit like that.
Yeah. Now
they called him a twitcher. He's a twitcher.
Now here's my thing: can you act and do a scene like that if you were called upon?
I felt like I could. I was just like, yo, just give me a little bit of shine, if I'm going to do that, right. I'm going to do a creepy. I'm going to be a creepy zombie,
Yeah, okay, now let me ask you this, because a lot of the zombies there, a lot of them, they got that dead, purplish looking
the decay,
color.
Yeah, the decay around their mouth.
The decay. Yeah. What type of eyes would you want to have? Red eyes, black eyes, white eyes? To me, all white eyes have always freaked me out.
Been a staple. Well, that's been a staple too. Like I know as far as a good chunk, some of the best zombie films do have the white eyes. With me, I would say the white eyes too. Like I know Walking Dead does the white eyes, but the only time if I can remember, if I'm blanking, zombies had red eyes in a game called Dead Rising, which is one of my favorite games ever. But Dead Rising is a play on Dawn of the Dead as well. It's basically a remake of Dawn of the Dead in a video game, you know. But different characters, but it gave me that feeling. And they had the creepy red eyes. But I would say, probably my favorite's the white eyes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about the zombie movements. Do you prefer zombie movies that walk, like we think a zombie would walk, or the fast-paced running World War Z 2004 Dawn of the Dead zombies where they run after your ass?
So I have a mixed answer.
Okay.
With the fast zombies, I think they're hands down the most menacing, the most dangerous, the zombies you do not want to happen. Like if a zombie apocalypse happened, we don't want Dawn of the Dead, Train to Busan, World War Z zombies. We're not going to make it. No way.
Yeah,
we're fucked. We're fucked. But just for nostalgic sake, I felt like the slower zombies made me feel more at home just because Romero's my guy. And I always felt like one fast zombie is extremely creepy, but for some reason when 10 slow zombies get around you and there's nowhere to go and you can't juke them or shake them, it's a very creepy feeling because it feels slower. It feels like the dread is coming in. It feels like a fast zombie's just gonna fuck you up. Like boom, boom, you're gone. But when there's like 10 slow zombies gaining up on you and you're like, I have nowhere to go, it's a creepier kind of feeling. You're like, oh shit, I'm about to get eaten. Instead of the fast zombie, like, oh, I just got eaten. Like, fuck, that was fast. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So the slower zombies always creep me out a bit more, but the fast zombies are definitely more menacing. They're dangerous. They're more dangerous.
Yes. And one thing that I looked into years ago was when these slow zombies get you, and before you know it, they open up your stomach.
Oh yeah, start ripping you up. Yep.
Start chewing on guts, and then you hear like that.
Yeah.
That shit. I looked into like, what the hell was that sound? Like, how do they make that sound? And again, many different directors use different methods. Okay?
Yeah, they use different types of let's say one guy will get like a bag full of like juice or a bag full of let's say like, I don't know, water or something. They'll squish the bag in the microphone to make it sound like it's like the guts are getting eaten. But there's all different types of methods.
Yes.
Yeah, all different types.
One guy, I think you can look it up on YouTube because it's an old way of looking at it. It's an old way to it was an old thing that I saw on TV and I found it on YouTube. but I forgot what it's called. So what he did, he grabbed. Remember, people would put hair gel back in the day, and he stuck his hand in hair gel.
Wow, that's sick.
Yes, and he was just like.
That's sick. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
and I was like, so
That's
then
sick.
they would play it with the movie, and you could hear it. Now, it's crazy because you know how they made the sound, or at least this director, whenever they would break like an arm and it sounded like a fucking
snap. Yeah, like a snap.
like a crab leg or something. They got a cabbage, and I was like, shit.
And it's crazy when you think like how simple that is. Like they made something where you would think like, how the fuck, like something that freaked you out can just have such a simple setup behind it.
Yes,
you know, you're
yes.
like, wait, what the fuck? That's what freaked me out all along. You know,
Yes,
and
yes.
it's crazy, and it does. Yeah, it gets to you.
Like, let me just drop a little nugget. Hopefully, I can paint a picture. Okay, sometime growing up, you have street lights and you have, I guess, poles that hold up the phone lines, etc. out here. Growing up, there was one that it was like a straight, like a wire. That I don't want to call it a wire, but it looked like a rope, but it was made out of metal. And we used to always try to climb up it to try to get up the pole, but it was always diagonally, okay? Well, being a big Star Wars guy, I wanted to know how they made the sound of the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, George Lucas and them said that one day they just got like a stick or like a piece of metal, and the same thing that I grew up with, you know, that wire that would come down those poles, they just... So they recorded it, and of course they engineered it. They tweaked it a little bit, and
Crazy.
Yes,
That's
little
so sick.
Yes, little sounds like that. This is why I enjoy these movies that are not so much CGI, like you say, because what little they had to get creative.
Yeah, and I think practical effects are rooted in creativity. I think not everybody can mess around with CGI, but a good chunk can, especially in the movie industry. Like some of these guys can sleepwalk and be like, oh, boop, 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 boop. Okay, done, computer. But the practical effects team, there's actors that have been in practical effects. It takes them 5 hours to get their makeup done on them. And it's like brutal torture, but you get the best results across the screen. Like it's completely natural. And practical effects, it was a challenge, especially like, let's say a film like Frankenstein in the 30s. The fact that they made all like those electrical surges and everything go off, that's all practical. And you're like, what the fuck? Like that's incredible. Like that could pass off for a film in the 70s or something, and you wouldn't question it. But for the 30s, the fact that that's all practical, that's why I'm always team practical effects. Like 9 times, a strong 9 times out of 10. You know,
because when we saw these on TV, this right here, you're like, what the fuck?
yeah,
like,
it's insane. It's like,
see, and now they put it into this. Listen to this. So now I got it here. Okay, really quick before I go to my last one. Would you consider? No, they were considered more mummies. I was going to say they were like zombies, but the movie Mummy with Brandon Fraser, the first one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those weren't considered zombies. Those because remember, well, some of them I think were.
You know, mummies are like, I would say half and half, because mummies do. The mummies in the Brendan Fraser film were a little bit more murderous, but they still have that creepy like root to them. So I wouldn't be mad if somebody, like, mummies could easily be a neighbor to zombies. Easily. They could be like a across the street neighbor or right next door. They could be neighbors.
Well, remember the scene where the mummies are all together, these humans, and then they're saying, Imhotep.
Yeah, I love it. That scene's hilarious because the brother comes in and he's like, he's trying to like escape him. I love that's one of my favorite moments.
That's a good movie. Okay.
That's one of my favorite. I love that movie.
Yes. 1 and 2 I liked. I don't like 3.
3's horrible.
Yeah.
3's horrible because they got rid of Rachel Weisz and they recasted her with Maria Bello, who is a good actress, but the writing was different and the director was even different too. And they just tried to go for more of, they tried to dial more on the fast-paced action and less of the characters. You didn't care about any of the characters in 3.
No, you didn't.
I love. People don't love 2 as much because of the CGI Scorpion King, The Rock,
right?
And it does look pretty bad. But the special effects guys on that, they said they only had like 2 weeks to come up with the Rock's design. So they're like, that's the reason why the Rock looks terrible in that film. But I love too. Mummy Returns is a great time for me.
I like that too.
Yeah,
Imhotep was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last one, let's go ahead and put that up. Army of the Dead.
All right, Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder, 2001. That one was, I believe, it did come out in the theaters for a while.
I think it was maybe a limited release or maybe like a couple weeks. And then I think they released around the same time in theaters and Netflix.
Yes.
But they did that, I think they did that deal.
And that one, now you can watch it tonight if you want on Netflix. Okay, that's where I saw it, on Netflix. Now, here's what got me, okay? My son-in-law, Rick, I want to give you credit for this one. He turned me on to this one. He said, have you seen Army of the Dead? And I said, I'd never heard of it. And this was maybe sometime last year, okay? And he goes, oh, you need to check it out, father-in-law. So we're watching that at his house, and the very beginning really, really got me because they get into a car wreck.
Yeah.
I believe it's the army or whatever.
Yeah, it's like 2 soldiers in a car or something.
Yeah. And the box falls out or whatever, some big old box, and then they tell them, run, get away from there, do not approach it. So now they're like, why? You know? And of course, something comes out of there.
It's like Patient Zero or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's one of one that literally turns Vegas into zombies. So one zombie turned literally Vegas into zombies. And the way they contained it, I guess they put a, if you will, I'm going to say like a fence. Obviously, it wasn't a fence. It was more like stacked up buses or containers or whatever, so that nobody would be able to get out.
Yeah.
And it stars Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Batista, yep.
Yeah. Now, I remember Batista from watching wrestling, but he was called back then Deacon Batista.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, when he first came out, he actually came out like a Catholic priest, and he used to come out with an offering plate.
What the fuck? Wow, you put me on that one. Wow.
Yeah, Deacon Batista. And before he would sock your ass, he would do one of these and then blast you.
He should have kept that.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah, he should have kept that
hitting
signature.
People with the offering
That's a sick
plate.
signature move, yeah.
It is. But I will say this. The only thing that got me about that movie that I didn't like, everything else I liked. Everything else. That I didn't like, though, was that in the very beginning, they played a song.
The jazzy Vegas song, the Elvis. I think it's Elvis, a cover of Elvis.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they played it too long. Like, they're showing everybody how it all started. Okay, cool, whatever. But the song is playing like for 3 to 4 minutes, and I'm like, can somebody end the song, please? Because I want to see the movie already.
Right.
But they keep playing the song, and that was the only thing that I told them. I said, I didn't like it.
Well, the thing with the opening credits is, I enjoyed the opening credits, but the ending, without spoiling so much, it goes from the opening credits go from such a funny, goofy vibe, them slaughtering zombies. At the end of it, it turns into a very sad, very dramatic close for the opening credits, without spoiling too much. Like 2 people die, and you're like, wow, that's supposed to tug at my heartstrings, and it does a little. But the music choice is a bit odd.
Yes.
Like the music choice from the start to the middle of the opening credits is pretty sick.
Yeah.
And then when they get to that dramatic part, I'm a little like, okay, it's a little weird, you know, it's a little just how they're doing it, you know.
And one thing that I did like, and again, not to spoil too much, but we do want to cover a little bit of it, that when they went there, I don't know if you remember, they sent a team in there. We're not going to tell you why they went in there, but they sent a team, and obviously it was ran by Dave Bautista, and one of the girls that's I guess being their guide, and they're saying, oh, these zombies are nothing. Wait till we get the alphas.
Right, the alphas. Yeah.
Okay, see, that was crazy because I've never heard that in any zombie movie, that somebody would say, oh, these zombies are not. I mean, are they saying that these zombies are betas and with the tough ones are the alphas?
Kind of like, I think Army of the Dead might have went into more detail, but it reminded me of I Am Legend a little bit.
Yes, it did.
Because the main guy, I believe, is the alpha, and then the sick girlfriend zombie that he's pissed off about at the end.
Yes.
I think that might have been the beta. I might be wrong, but or Omega, and it gave me that feeling. It gave me that kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah. Then I liked it because if I'm correct, they did use CGI some zombies, and then some humans.
Yeah.
That's what it was a mixture.
Yeah, they use practical and they use CGI.
Yes,
yeah,
that's what I really liked about it. But the queen or the lady, she was fucking creepy, man.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah,
She was really creepy, and even the what do you call it, the leader or the king of the zombies. But that was one thing to me that made a difference, because in this movie there was actually leaders of the zombies, you know. And I had never again seen, because we watched Dawn of the Dead, or we don't see a leader.
So, do you remember Land of the Dead?
No, I do not.
Okay, so that one was the first time I believe Romero did that. There's a black zombie. And he actually lives. There's a black zombie in Land of the Dead, and he's the leader of them. And it doesn't explicitly say. It doesn't like flat out say he's the leader.
But you can tell.
Yeah, you could tell. And he's the one communicating with the other zombies. He's like, let's go after them.
Okay, I'm going to have to see that one.
You know what? I love Land of the Dead. People give it a bad rap, but I think it's very fun. It's very gory, very brutal. It's very brutal. I think gore-wise, that's very underrated in the Romero caliber. There's certain scenes you watch where you're like, oof, like I'm a gore hound. And even with Land of the Dead, I'm like, damn, that's pretty damn brutal. But John Leguizamo's in it. I think he does a good job. I'm a fan of John Leguizamo, so he does a good job. Dennis Hopper's the villain, and he kills. Oh, I love Dennis Hopper. So he killed it being the villain. He has some good lines that are pretty fun.
See, now I wonder why, because I love John Leguizamo. A lot of people know him from Benny Blanco from the Bronx, from Carlito's Way.
Yep.
You know, and then Dennis Hopper from what's the name of that movie? Well, one of the movies, one of the Road Warrior movies.
Yeah. I know he was also the crazy guy on Blue Velvet with we know David Lynch.
Yes. So I'm gonna have to go see that one now, because I don't.
Yeah,
it sounds familiar, but
it's fun.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out.
That one reminded me when you said leader. That was one of the rare zombie movies that I can think of where I'm like, Romero tried to tap with that with Land of the Dead. Because they have the black zombie being the leader, but it's Army of the Dead took it another step where like it feels very king and queen, you know, like where it feels very in that aspect. Like Land of the Dead, they're just regular zombies, but you know,
right.
These guys are like, they got like crowns on them and shit like that. Or they look creepy.
I'm gonna have to see that one. Okay, so once again, you guys, just to read you guys off his list, and by the way, okay. Which one, if somebody wanted to watch a zombie movie tonight, out of these 8, which one would you recommend tonight?
I'm biased, Day of the Dead, but I'm biased for that. If you want a more fast-paced and more like just straight-up jump, I would say Dawn of the Dead, the remake 2004. Even though the original 78 film is on my top 5 movies of all time, I love that one more than the 2004 film. If you want a fast-paced, fun, jump right off the bat zombie film, Dawn of the Dead, the remake, 2004.
I will say that. And the reason why I'm going to say Army of the Dead is for a younger crowd. I think this fits, in my opinion, because it's newer.
It's more recent.
Yeah, it's more recent. So that's why I think a younger generation would like it if you want to watch it, I guess, with your family or whatnot.
And same director, Zack Snyder also did the 2004 remake, Dawn of the Dead. So you'll get the same director from Dawn and Army of the Dead. Yeah,
so flip a coin. Okay. Other than that, since you mentioned you liked gore, would you consider, before we take calls, would you consider like Hostel? Have you seen Hostel?
Yeah, I've seen them all. There's 3 of them. There's 2 directed by Eli Roth, but then the third one is a different director.
Okay, I saw the first one. Okay, and I'm going to be honest with you. Would you consider that gory?
I would. The second one's more gory, but the first one has moments.
Okay.
I have like a love-hate relationship with the Hostel films.
Okay.
I think they could be bad. Like, I don't love them as much as other crowds do, but I do have a certain enjoyment with the first one. I think it might be a nostalgic bias because I was very young when Hostel came out. Like, I vividly remember, and people were making a big deal out of it when they came out. They were like, oh, this is the goriest, most brutal, disturbing film ever. And I had admittedly seen more disturbing films than the first Hostel, but it does have that creepy, and it has moments of gore, like the Achilles tendon, when the dude slices the dude's Achilles tendon. That part makes me wince. I'm like, oh, that's pretty fucked up. But
okay, that movie really bothered me, man. It really bothered me that here you have elitist or rich people, that
European folks,
that can. They can say, you know what, bring me a white chick from California with blue eyes, 5'7", blonde hair, nice butt and, whatever. And bring her to me and I'll give you, whatever, $1 million or whatnot. Just so he can torture her.
torture the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And the thing that messed me up with the hostel, especially the first one, was how they were trapping tourists. That fucked me up.
Yes.
I was like, yo, like, because I go to Europe a lot, like, not in the past few years, but like the past 7 or 6 years or so, I was regularly going to Europe, like all over. That was just like a hot spot for me. Boom, 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 boom. So if I were to play back Hostel while I was going on those Euro trips, I would be freaking out because I'd be like, yo, like, that's how they trap you. You get like some pretty European girls, like, hello, like, how are you, blah, 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 let's party. And then the next thing you know, you're getting tortured the fuck out of. So, yeah. So.
Okay, so one last one. And Norbert, can you hand me one little shot glass right there? Please, appreciate it. I'm gonna crack open this bottle since we're in the movie theater, since we're in the balcony, and you know what? Do they still have was it, what did we call them back in the days when the guys used to walk around? Was it an usher? They don't have those no more at theaters, huh?
Kinda, but not as much as they're there, but they're not as active as like back in the day. Like they'll just like they'll walk in on the side of the theater and they'll just kind of like gaze at the screen a little bit, look at you for 2 seconds, and then walk out. Yeah. Me, like if I was an usher, I'd be having fun. I'd be like, like be peeking in. I'd be make sure everybody good, but I would have fun as usher.
Bro, I remember when I was a kid and I used to go with my mom and we'd sneak in like Jack in the Box food or something, and I used to be like chewing, and then she would like, because the usher walk in, they were like the police when you were a kid. Yeah. And you're like, oh shoot, do you think you saw me? Do you think you saw me? Yeah, shut up, fool, he's still right there. You know, but yeah. But okay, last one again before we open up the phone lines. Saw. First time you saw Saw 1, is that gory for you?
The first one isn't, but the first one isn't. The second one kind of is, and then when we get to 3, that's when we get to really gory territory. Like from Saw 3 to on, they turn into like gore fests. They just turn into gore like tournaments, you know. Okay. But the first one there's gory moments, but the first one dwelled more on like psychological horror as far as like let's trap these two into the room. There's a dead guy in the middle of the room and stuff, so that freaks them out immediately. And when they're chained to it, they're chained to this shit. They can't escape, and then at the end of the film, turns out you have to cut off your own fucking foot to get out of there. Like, that's what, I'm like. To be fair, I had watched Saw 1 and Scary Movie 4 around the same time, so it didn't shock me as much because I had saw Dr. Phil and Shaquille O'Neal trying to cut their own feet off. Like it was a parody, it was a spoof, but it still does creep me out because the Saw 3 and on are all just straight up gore, which I like some of them, don't like some of them, but 1 felt a little bit more unique because of how they went with the route. They didn't focus on much as the gore. Like when the guy cuts off his foot, there's little glimpses of it, but it wouldn't be like if it was Saw 3, we would see him completely cut off the foot, you know? Right. 1 was just little glimpses. So there was more of the mental torture that the two characters were going through. Okay, I'm going to put this out there, and I want everybody in the live chat, if you guys want to see Afro back to cover vampire movies with me, let's put a bunch of thumbs up on the emojis. Let me get my thumbs up, and you guys, if you guys want to see him back so that we can cover, once again, where's my thumbs up? Okay, here it is right there. Okay, to cover vampire movies, let's do it. Okay, just again, if you can give us one vampire movie off the top of your head that you would love to cover without covering it right now, but just say the name, what would it be? Blade 2.
Blade 2?
Blade 2.
Wow.
Blade 2 is fucking awesome. I love 1 also. I love Blade 1, but 2's like Blade 2 might be my favorite vampire movie of all time. Okay. Just personal bias, but.
So here you go right here.
Lost Boys. Yeah, Lost Boys is a classic.
Okay, so you're getting a bunch of thumbs up.
I love Nosferatu.
Okay.
Nosferatu's Nosferatu's a very slow, silent film. I can see people checking out, but Nosferatu's a very creepy dude. Like he gave me 1 or 2 nightmares when I was a kid. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you mine that I will want to cover. It's a little on the humorous side, but I believe it comes from the 80s. Fright Night.
Oh, I love Fright Night. Fright Night's awesome.
Yeah, Peter Vincent.
And Chris Sarandon. And I love that fucking film.
What was his line? Peter Vincent. Vampire killer, ready to fight the undead. Yeah. Oh, I love that guy.
Classic film. I love that movie.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's put the number up, you guys. We got a few minutes, you guys. Let's make some calls pertaining to these movies that we're talking about, and we'll go from there. So let's see. The number should be up. Is it already up, Alex? Okay. You tell me which one when it's up. Because it's okay. So go ahead and call in, you guys. And if you guys have anything for me or for Afro, let's go ahead and do it. If not, we're going to continue. We only have a few more minutes. So we're still getting a bunch of thumbs ups.
Nice. Now I'd love to come back, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
So,
I could think of 10 vampire films.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love vampire movies. Girls love vampire movies. You know, so
not a big Twilight guy, but that's
of course, yeah. That was made for girls. Okay, let's
ladies,
see.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. All right, caller, call back. Okay, let me see. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Tony. What's up, Afro? This is Brad Pitbull
What up, player?
calling from
From the mall,
Hey,
because
dude,
you're surrounded by zombies.
Exactly. But one movie that I considered horror was the movie The Duel from 1971. Even though it's not, it was just a truck driver.
Yeah.
But
You
that
said
movie always scared me to go on road trips.
Spielberg did that, right?
Yes, that was his first.
Spielberg did that. Yeah.
Yes, that was his first film, I believe. Yeah. And that homeboy was driving a camioneta. He was driving a station wagon, and he was being chased by a damn diesel.
Yeah.
Look, I don't care what anybody says. That movie was crazy.
I enjoyed that film. Yeah, I enjoyed Duel.
Yes.
Yeah. Duel's dope.
I believe you guys can watch it for free also on YouTube.
Yeah.
So definitely check that one out. Let me ask you, Brad Pimple, what was it about it that you liked?
I liked it because for that time it's scary because you got no cell phone. You don't have a McDonald's or a gas station every 5 miles.
Right. It was more desolate.
The smaller population.
Yeah.
And it was real time scary to where if you get a flat, what are you gonna do? You don't have time to change the tire. So
Duel is a better. Yeah, Duel is a better version of Maximum Overdrive. You remember that one?
Yes. Maximum Overdrive, Stephen King, if I'm correct?
Yeah,
yes.
and I like that one too, but that one's really goofy. It's really fucking goofy. But Duel is more creepier, for sure.
Okay, Brad,
and the
anything
original
else?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's
And
classic.
the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because that's why I don't trust anyone from Texas. There's creepy vibes over there.
That's a classic, yeah.
It is a classic.
But and then just one thing on the UFOs, when people call in, just long story short, TR3B. If you research that, that'll give you the blueprint for what's going on with UFOs. Again, TR3B.
Okay,
and Bravo.
Okay, and that's TR3B.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the government.
All right.
If people look it up, they'll see it on there. All right.
All good.
TR3B. That's it.
Thank you, my bro.
Check it out. I'll look that up my damn self.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, let's keep it pushing, you guys. We missed about 7 phone calls. Let's see. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from? Caller.
Hello?
Yes. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Chris from Arizona.
What's up,
going
Chris?
down? What's going down?
What's going down? I was gonna say one of the movies that I was thinking of was the Friday the 13th one with the black kid from Different Strokes.
Yeah, and
Dudley.
and he lives.
Where remember that part where remember the part where that guy was axing wood or whatever, and the guy offered him a chocolate bar. He said, "Get away from me!"
Yeah.
And he killed him because he was offering some chocolate.
Yeah. No, that I always loved that one because Dudley lives. That completely shocked me the first time I saw that film. And yeah.
And the killer dude wasn't even. I think it wasn't even Jason, right? It was like the ambulance guy, the guy that worked for the ambulance.
I think so. That's the one I do admittedly have to rewatch, but I do remember. I think it was like the ambulance guy or some shit like. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a good one.
Yes, it was. Anything else, caller?
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you guys on the Dawn of the Dead movie, the one with the Ving Rhames. That one was a good one as well.
Oh, I love that
and
one.
yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, no, that one
was a good one, man.
Yes.
Yo, check out my review when you can, bro. I got a review on my Photos Reviews channel. That was one of my recent reviews. Was Dawn of the Dead 2004. Check it out. It's one I do my best to break it down.
And I don't know, like you guys covered this one though, but the 28 Days Later one movie.
I enjoyed 28 Days Later. That one's one, me personally, I wish I enjoyed a little bit more, but I still respect it and appreciate it. I respect it. I respect 28 Days Later because of Danny Boyle, great director, fantastic director. And it is a creepy film. Me personally, I'm not a big shaky cam guy. So when there's a lot of shaky cam going on in the film, it throws me off. But that's just that's personal preference. Yeah. I think 28 Weeks Later is a little bit underrated. People kind of shit on that one. And I think the first 10 minutes of 28 Weeks Later, the sequel, are like a 10 out of 10. I think the first 10 minutes are fantastic. The rest of the movie's cool. I do enjoy it, but man, the opening scene is like one of my favorite opening scenes of all time. 28 Weeks Later.
Hey, caller, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have Afro comment from his reaction page.
There's a reviews? Yeah.
Yes, please comment on this one so that people can go follow you and subscribe and go look at that.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, please do that. So thank you for this call, my bro.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's go, callers. We missed a couple of calls. We got a couple of more minutes. Let's get these calls in. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from? Caller. Hello, caller.
It's a ghost.
He's on. Maybe he's got bad reception.
It's Nosferatu.
Yes, exactly. Caller. Yeah, I hear him.
It definitely is Nosferatu.
Okay, maybe I gotta hang up. I'm gonna go ahead and try this. You know what? It smells like like a caramel.
Oh, the Douce?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like it. It's different. Because I'm used to drinking tequila, but I wanted to try something different. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
David.
What up, player? What up, player?
Wanted to see, have you ever seen Body Bag?
Body Bag.
Body Bag. What year is that? Do you know?
1993.
Oh, I'll check it out. Is it? What's it about?
I know it's almost like a Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, Body Bags. That's John Carpenter. It's different stories, right? Like different stories in one movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It just had to click for me for a second.
You know what that kind of reminds me of now that you said different stories? Cat's Eye. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I love Cat's Eye.
Yeah.
Cat's Eye is one of my favorite PG-13 horror films. I think that one's PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creep Show even has good ones like that.
Creep Show's in my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's a nerdy choice, but I love Creep Show.
Go ahead, my bro.
Definitely. Also, are you guys going to comment anything about the UFO in Nevada?
No, what's
on
going
the night show?
No, what's the word? What's going down?
No, you guys haven't heard yet?
No.
I heard
about the UFO that crashed.
No, what? How recent?
In the backyard.
Like a day or two ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you, caller. I've only heard about it on social media. And believe me, everything I read on social media is either 50-50 until I see it on TV, but so far, man. They're saying it's real. They're saying that there was something that crashed and somebody called in 911 and said that there's two creatures. They look like they're between 8 to 10 feet tall in their backyard and their eyes are glowing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, wow. and they played the 911 call.
Damn. So 8 to 10 feet tall reminds me of Signs, because in Signs they're super tall. And they even mentioned they even mentioned that in the film. They're like, there's these like Olympic tall Russian women that are like 7 feet tall or something. They're trying to debunk it, but they're established they're tall as shit in that film. So
yeah, and this person actually claims that he saw it. Now, if he's seen them, whatever it is. Whoever I'm with, if I'm with my brother, if I'm with my son, start filming, okay? Because believe me,
exactly.
All shit aside, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to do a world tour because people now are going to want to talk to me because we have an eyewitness that witnessed an alien from outer space, if you will, for the first time ever, if anything. Can you describe it? What did you feel?
What they're saying is they live pretty close by Area 51. and there was an officer that was on duty that caught it coming down the sky on his body cam. He was at another scene, and a couple of other video, cameras, surveillance videos caught like a boom. But I don't know. It's a great story. It's on the news. Maybe you guys YouTube it after the show.
No,
It's very interesting.
You put me onto that because
Interesting.
I'm always looking into shit like that. Like I'm always open minded. So I'm gonna look into that shit, bro. That's crazy. That flew over my head.
Definitely.
Yeah, that flew over my head. Yeah.
It is definitely like all over the news, bro. Well, not the news, on social media. I have yet to see it on the news, but now they're saying that it is true. So
Yeah, and there's just it's just weird shit.
yes, all good, caller. I appreciate
Thanks
you, man.
again, Tony.
Thank
You
you.
guys have a good night. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
brother. You too.
Okay, let's keep it pushing. Fred, I saw you call. Go ahead and call in, Fred. I see you, Fred. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, right now nobody's calling, so if you want to call her your name and where are you calling from?
Calling from San Francisco, California. My name is Jose.
Nice to meet you, brother.
It's happening. Nice to meet you. One movie, maybe I missed it, but one movie I never heard you guys bring up is Prince of Darkness. It was a John Carpenter movie.
We are talking about Serpent in the Rainbow, but I always felt like Prince of Darkness was kind of like a neighbor to that. So I can see you bringing that one up. But I enjoy Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites when I was a kid, and I watch you guys all the time. I was just like, I never brought that up.
Prince of Darkness doesn't get brought up as much in Carpenter's filmography. It doesn't get brought up as much. Like we think of, to be fair, like some of my favorite movies are The Thing, Halloween, and such. But yeah, Prince of Darkness I really enjoy. Like I don't feel like they don't bring that one up as much.
Yeah, I figured to bring it up and maybe you guys could shine light on that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that, man. Anything else you want to bring up?
That's about it, man. And, keep doing what you're doing, man. I like the show.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? Then maybe one day, we ought to cover John Carpenter movies.
Oh, I would love to. I love that guy. He's in my top 5 ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah. Hey, Tony, this is Angel from Sun Valley.
Yes, Angel. How you doing tonight?
Shout out. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Shout out to you and Afroman.
Peace, brother.
So,
peace.
what I'm, all right, cool. Yeah. So my question is, last month in May, over in continent of Africa, actually it was Kenya, Africa. There was a man that was a church pastor, and he had a cult, and he told the people to starve themselves because it was the end of times, and the people starved themselves to death. And last time I checked, the death toll was
200.
over 100. Yeah, I don't know about now, but last time I checked. And so what I'm saying is that this kind of incident is on some kind of if you remember back in history, Jim Jones.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Drink the Kool-Aid.
Over here in the U.S.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, over here in the U.S. In Waco, Texas, David Koresh.
David Koresh. Yeah.
Over here over here in San Diego,
Heaven's Gate.
the Stargate cult. Yes. So these individuals have have been have came around in history. So my question to you guys, what do you think is it about this individual? You think he just is trying to, other than he already brainwashed them, but is it for his own satisfaction, or you think there's something in him
Tell him to do that.
I want to say for him to want to wipe out his whole cult. He had followers of hundreds. It was a cult, and they have already found hundreds of bodies that starved themselves to death because he told them that it was the end of time.
It's fucking crazy.
So these kind of individuals, like, what? My question, make a long story short, what do you think is in them to make them do something of that magnitude extreme?
You want to go ahead and I'll comment after you.
obviously to chalk it up, I think that's some evil shit. But for them to follow him, I think there's some sort of delusion there. I don't know if there's a disillusion or if they're thinking of him as like a godly figure. I don't know if they're trying to think of him as like a tell-all kind of guy that is for the end of times. But in my opinion, I think it's just delusion. I think it's like, yo, why the fuck would you tell him? Why would you follow a motherfucker who wants you to starve? Wants you to starve yourself? Yeah, no, I think that's delusion. But there is a creepiness to it. I don't know if it's like my brain wants to say maybe the guy's under control of some like demonic shit or some evil shit telling him to do that. But there are crazy ass people in this world. Yes. Crazy ass motherfuckers. So that's the first thing I think of, was like, this guy's just delusional as fuck, you know?
Caller, let me just throw out a couple of things. Many times it could be the gift of gab. The guy has personality.
Smooth charisma. Yeah,
the guy has charisma. Look at Charles Manson. Okay? Skinny, cracked out looking hippie.
But he managed to win over all these like little girls, these girls.
Yeah, and then tell them, go kill. Okay? And I'm going to throw this in there, and I'm just speaking for myself, okay? I definitely do believe that there's something demonic with this man. Yeah. And these people just seem to see something in him that normal, people with a sound mind don't see. And having the gift of gab, talking to them, possibly encouraging them, telling them that they're this, that they're that, they believe it, follow me. Before you know it, they're drinking the Kool-Aid.
There you go.
So, from what little I know, that's just my opinion on this individual.
Yeah, I can see that. I can feel that too.
Well, here's another one for you. The wacko David Koresh from Waco, Texas, okay? Yeah. First, he starts off saying that he's a messenger. Then he says he's Jesus Christ. Then he says he's God. Then he tells married men, I know she's your wife, but she could only sleep with me. And the men say yes. The men say yes, but he groomed them.
Yeah, yeah. It was that like that gift of gab, like that power, that pizzazz that made him win him over. Like this, we're looking at this guy. He knows how to talk. He knows how to. So he must be right. He must be right. He knows what he's talking about.
And last thing I'm gonna add, these type of people, they know how to pick their victims. They know who they're talking to.
They know how to target. Yeah. Yes. Know to target.
Exactly.
They know who to see people who's weak and who's strong. Like who can I manipulate?
Yes. All good, caller. Hopefully we shined a little bit of light on that.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony, for your call. Shout out to Afro again, and shout out to Freaky Tales podcast.
Thank you, my brother.
You too, brother. Have a good night.
Okay, let's go. Say we take a couple of more phone calls and we cut it.
Cool.
Okay, we missed around 7 calls, so let's keep it pushing, you guys. Somebody texted and said, answer essay. Well, nobody's calling right now, so call essay. So let me see. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
It's Brad Pipple again, but quick little note. You know that movie Warlock with Julian Sands?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the creepy thing about that with real life. The plot of the movie is to reveal God's real name.
Yeah.
Say it backwards to undo the universe.
Right.
But on Friday the 13th in January of this year, he disappeared at Mount Baldy, and he's still gone. So that's for me.
I know who you're talking about, the Julian Sands guy.
Yeah, Julian Sands. Yeah, he's still missing.
Yeah, he's still missing. And his brother had actually accepted that he's going to die. His own brother said, I accept, if we haven't found him yet, he's gone. And so his own family.
Yeah, and his 3 kids are still searching for him. But I just think, I don't know what that is.
It's creepy.
If you guys could discuss that a bit. If that's karma, if that's the universe talking, because who knows what sort of influence.
Well, Julian Sands,
a dark message.
To be fair, Julian Sands, as much as a fan of I am of the guy, I think he's a fantastic actor. Every time I see him, he always dabbles. If you really think of it, he dabbles into dark magic characters. He's always involved in some kind of not always, but a majority of his films do dabble in dark magic or dabble in some kind of evil, demonic type of shit. So he does a lot of action. He plays the villain quite a lot. He's either like the villain or he's like some creepy kind of guy, So when I saw all that news going down in real time, like him disappearing in the real time of the search and the days amounting and multiple people, I think, going to try to find him, it gave me a creepy feeling. I was like, yo, what the fuck,
Yeah.
So Yeah, I can
no
see. I
doubt
can see that.
Yeah, I thought about that. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. That was the final note. Right.
All right, my brother. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Let's go. You know, a lot of people always complain that he calls a lot. Well, you guys ain't calling. So if you want, you know what I'm saying?
He was quick on the trigger.
Yeah, he was quick on the trigger. So let's go, you guys. Fred, let me just call this guy up. Let's see. Okay. Can I call him back from here? There we go. I think he's answering.
One of my favorite movies is Drop Dead Fred. It's so goofy. It's a goofy ass movie, but I love it.
Fred, are you there? No? Okay. Let me call once again. Fred, I'm trying to call you, but you're not picking up, bro. Fred. All right. Cool, whatever. All right, let's see. Let's get this call. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
What up, Tony? It's Luciano from Phoenix, Arizona.
What's up, bro, my bro? How you doing tonight, man? You have a question or a story or a movie you want to share?
Movie. I just want to know what you guys think about the Rob Zombie films.
Ooh, I'm not a big fan, but that's me personally. I'm not a big Rob Zombie guy. I do enjoy Devil's Rejects. I do like that film, and I do like House of a Thousand Corpses to a degree. There is some things I like about it. I hate his Halloween films. I hate them. But again, that's me personally.
Right.
But I'm not a fan of his Halloween 1. I hate Halloween 2. I hate the white horses that he put, the white horse in Halloween 2.
Yeah, like what the hell was
I
that?
hate everything he did about Halloween 2. There is one brutal death with the nurse, Octavia Spencer. I think that death is very brutal. That's the thing is, even if I don't like a film or a director, I can still take a step back and be like, there were things I liked that he did. There were like little moments that I think that I enjoyed. But for the most part, with Rob Zombie, my thing, I curse. I'm a cursing guy. I say fuck all the time. But his films literally say fuck every 2 seconds. And I think someone like I broke this down on my review channel, like the magic of F-bombs. And I feel like a Scorsese or a Tarantino have a more magical way of doing it. They know how to make that F-bomb flow in their films. Rob Zombie feels a little rigid to me. It feels like, it feels very weird how you're doing this dialogue, man. It's always like, cunt, fuck, this, shit, ass, prick, every line. And that's just me, though. If you enjoy Rob Zombie films, I can understand, because there's like a grittiness and a grittiness to his films. It's very gritty, very dark, very ugly kind of films, but in a cool way. He has a cool, stylish feel to him. I do agree on that. But I think his dialogue is some of the worst dialogue I've ever seen in any film, like any time, you know?
The only one that I liked, believe it or not, was Halloween 1. I hated Halloween 2 of his, but I didn't like it enough. I didn't like Halloween 1 enough to go buy it, because I have all the Halloweens. Okay.
And there were things I like I like Danny Trejo. I'm a fan of Danny Trejo. So it's really cool seeing Danny Trejo being the cool figure to Michael in the Rob Zombie film. Like being like, hey, Mikey, looking out for him in the asylum. I like that. I'm a fan. And it did hurt to see Trejo die in a film like that. I was like, damn, he was a really cool character. But I hated Malcolm McDowell as Loomis. And I love the guy. He's one of the best actors of all time. I just think the way his character was written, I was like, damn, he's just...
Yeah, I didn't think he fit.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
And the scene where he's a kid and he's like beating up the bully with the stick in the first one, I do like that scene. I like that scene.
I actually met the kid at the Monsterpalooza. He was out there giving autographs.
What's his name? French. It's something. The guy who played Michael, the kid.
Yeah, the kid with the blonde hair.
Don French or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a blonde kid, a blonde, long hair kid. Yeah.
He's older now, but looks still exactly the same.
He was the kid who calls Will Smith an asshole in Hancock. He's also that kid, like asshole, and then Will Smith launches him in the air. He's the same kid.
Okay. All good, caller.
Well, I appreciate the opinion, and thanks for taking the call.
You got it, brother. You got it.
Okay. We're going to take 2 more call, guys, and then we're pretty much done. So if you want to call in right now. Let's see. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Good afternoon. Good evening, gentlemen. This is Albert. I'm calling out of San Jose.
Peace, brother.
And
peace.
Good evening. I just wanted to recommend two sets of movies, man. The first set I want to recommend is the found footage movies called Record. They're Spanish movies.
Oh, Record, yeah, I've
I
seen
don't
them
know if
all.
you guys heard of them.
I've seen them all. I've seen 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, 3 is
Yes.
3 isn't filmed in the camera in the first handheld version, kind of the handheld POV. But I love 1.
Correct.
I love 1. I love Record 1. I like Record 2. From my memory, I remember liking it. People hate 3.
Yeah. Two to me is a banger though.
Yeah,
I don't know. To me 2 is like part 1 is Alien, part 2 is Aliens. You know what I mean?
can
Like
see
that's
that,
a banger.
Yeah, I can see that because 2, if I remember, was bloodier. It was more like a little more mean. It was a little more fast paced, I believe, in the second one. That's a good rewatch for me because I remember really enjoying 2. I remember thinking it was dope. People hate 3, but I had a little bit of fun with it. It's the wedding one where the wedding's going crazy and stuff. People hate it.
Yeah, that one's fun.
I had fun with it. Yeah, I thought it was a little fun. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
And then they did
the next one.
They did the Quarantine remakes. What do you think about Quarantine?
Man, I wasn't feeling it. They didn't do it no justice.
I could see that because as someone who did like Quarantine, I like Quarantine, but it's not nearly as the level as Recording 1, and 2. Like from what I remember,
I could see Quarantine being cool if like you never seen Record.
Yeah, and maybe
You know what I mean?
maybe Quarantine, like if it was like maybe a different name or a different whatever, maybe a different kind of setting. If it wasn't in the apartment, like if they put a different setting to it, it might have been a bit of more of a banger with Quarantine. But Rec already, Rec 1 already, and I got to rewatch 2, but I remember really liking it. Those movies did it way better because of that claustrophobic feel when it's all closed in this apartment and stuff. They did a really good job with those.
Yes, exactly. And the next one I wanted to recommend is I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Gates of Hell trilogy from Lucio Fulci, Italian director.
City of the Living Dead. What else? The Beyond. I reviewed The Beyond. That's on my channel. I did The Beyond. I recently, it's not the same trilogy, but I reviewed New York Ripper. But Gates of Hell, that City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, and what's the other one? I'm forgetting the other one.
Zombie.
Zombie. Yeah, there you go. Zombie 2. There you go. That's the classic. That might be my personal favorite. Just because I do love I love City of the Living Dead, and I do love The Beyond. I think The Beyond's pretty dope. But I think Zombie might be my personal favorite. It's pretty goofy, but I really love it.
Yeah, because Zombie kind of got that. They got that whole little voodoo aspect going to it.
Yeah, and it's a mix. It's a nice mix of that voodoo and flesh eaters. So they're like eating flesh, but they do have that voodoo kind of feel to it. It's like a beautiful mesh of like White Zombie and Dawn of the Dead. You know.
Yes, exactly. Correct. And I wanted to get an honorary mention for the Night of the Living Dead remake from 1990. Tom Savini directed it.
I was going to mention that. I'm happy you did because that's one of my favorite remakes. I really enjoyed it, Tom. To be fair, as much as Romero's my GOAT, he is my GOAT like forever. He'll always be my GOAT. I enjoy the I enjoy the Barbara in 1990 more than the Romero film. Like I think Barbara in the the Barbara and Tom Savini film kicks ass. Like she totally kicks ass.
Yeah, she actually has character.
Yeah, she's not just screaming the whole film. She actually kicks ass.
Yeah, she's not catatonic. She's actually like doing something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
that one was like,
and Tony
Todd. That was a good update.
Tony Todd is the man. You got Tony Todd playing Ben. Like that's the like Dwayne.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with Candyman.
Dwayne Jones is one of my goats, but like if you ask me who had the better Ben, they're right there, literally right fucking neck and neck. Like I love those two.
Yeah,
I love those two almost equally. They both do a fantastic job playing Ben. Yeah, Tony Todd's
yeah, you're right on that. You're right.
Tony Todd's the man. Yeah, he's awesome.
Hell yeah.
All good, caller. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Right on, man. You guys have a great evening. Take it easy.
You too, brother. Peace.
For everybody listening, this is why I invited this guy. Okay, because this guy knows his shit.
I'm a psycho, bro.
This guy knows his shit.
Oh, I'm a psycho, man.
Okay, let me see if I can.
I just love this shit. Ever since I was a baby, I always loved it.
All good. Let me see if I can get my boy's number. Let me see. The fuck? Okay. Caller, your name or where are you calling from?
Don Perrucos.
Don Perruco, what's good, my
Fernando
brother?
Oregon.
What's good, my bro? How you doing?
What's poppin'?
Was good.
What's good?
Not bad.
What you watching tonight, man?
As long as we wake up alive, it's all good. I wanted to ask bro here, have you seen that movie Paranormal Entity?
Paranormal entity. Activity or entity?
I think it's activity.
No, not the activity. It's called
Entity's a different
Entity.
one? Oh, entity's a different. Oh, wait. Is it called paranormal entity or the entity?
I think it's just called Paranormal Entity.
Oh,
It's
man.
basically, it's based on a true story.
Okay.
Like, they even have the 911 phone call.
Okay. No, check it out. No,
The dude ended up being accused of killing and raping his wife, I think.
oh, shit. Wow.
And then they found out that it was a pinche demonio or the demon, whatever it
I'll
was.
take 2 seconds. Hold on. 2 seconds. I'll look it up right now. Paranormal entity.
Yeah, it does exist. Paranormal Entity. 2009. Yeah, supernatural horror film. There you
Aaron Mary. Yeah, Aaron. Oh, allegedly the actual footage of the supernatural events leading up to the 2008 murder of Samantha Finley. 2008 murder. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fucked up shit because they accused him of killing and raping, I think it was his wife or his daughter or something like
Oh,
that.
his sister. Okay,
But,
so the guy, young man
he
named
ended up,
Thomas is convicted of raping and killing his sister. Okay, and murdering the doctor, the psychic. Okay. I'm reading
Yeah,
it
but
right
bro,
now. Yeah.
I'm telling you, check it out. That's some real shit. And then they have the I don't know if it's on the movie, but they actually have the 911 phone call out there when he called, you know. And I think it was happening at that moment or some shit like that.
Oh shit!
But you know, that's some trippy shit, man. If you want to see some real shit, like check it out.
No, thank you.
Know, that's it right there.
I'm gonna add it to my list, and it's a quick watch. It's only an hour and 28 minutes, so that's quick. That's that's quick for me.
Hey, that's how you know some real shit right there.
Absolutely.
And another one real quick. I forgot the damn name of it. It was on Netflix, and I think it's called Levels or some shit like that.
Levels?
It's like I think they speak like it's like they speak Spanish like they're like Spain, you know, like I think it's like a Spanish movie.
Okay.
Yes, it's like it was on Netflix. Fuck, how did I forget the name? It's some trippy shit, man. Like basically there's a bunch of levels, and then they start with a big ass platform of food, and it basically starts going down, and each level, each floor, there's like 3-4 prisons or something like that, and they have so much time to eat the food, and they keep going down. Basically, you know, like it's like they were doing this project or something like that, but I think there was real prisoners. So basically, if you're at the bottom of the fucking level, you know, you're gonna starve to death. So they start like, you know, they have to like fight for food and shit.
Bottom of the food chain.
I know it's kind of hard, you know. I didn't really like broke it down, but look it up. It was on Netflix, and it has something to do with that, with like food and some type of experiment. I don't know. I forgot the damn name.
Level.
But just check, you know, look it up. You know, hopefully you find it. But it's a really fucking good movie.
I'll check it out.
And
good.
You know, like
I'll check it out.
And it feeds you like morals and shit. Because you know, if everybody were to like just take the food that they actually put on the list, if everybody just grabbed what they actually chose to eat, you know, like nobody will starve. But you know, that shows you the greediness of people. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know it was kind of, you know, hard to explain that.
No,
look it up, check it out, you know. But those two movies, I'm telling, bro.
All good, my bro.
Right there.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, then, bro. I'm not taking more of your time. Have a good night.
You too, my bro.
brother. You're good. Have a good night, brother.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna call up this guy real fast, and this will be our last call. Okay. What the fuck?
Oh, see, I accidentally took an old man drink right there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I thought I had my dumb ass and mixed it already. But it was good. It tasted good.
I wonder why.
Go.
Okay, let me see. All right, let me try again. See? Oh, you know what it is? I gotta turn off my Bluetooth. Okay, let me turn it off. So now I can call him. Let's see. Hopefully you can pick up, my bro. Okay, if not, we're done for the night. Can you kick me off the Bluetooth over there? Yeah, it's off. Okay, it's off. Okay, well, I tried calling him and he's not answering. Okay, let me try again since here we go. Last one, and if not, we're good. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. Okay, are we connected? Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Fred, what's good, my bro? I've been trying to call you, man. You know what?
Yeah.
You're our last caller. Make it a good one, homie.
Hey, I got you, man. I got you. Thank you for calling, man. You know what? Man, we were playing phone tag there for a minute. First and foremost, man, Afro, my man.
How are you, brother?
Know your movies. Good, brother, good. You know your movies, bro.
Oh, I'm a nerd.
You know, dude, same here. I'm a movie buff.
Yeah, I'm a nerd, bro. I'm a fucking nerd. Like, I happily wear. If they had a big badge that said nerd on my shoulder, I would wear it 24/7, you know?
Right. No, you know what? I was introduced to Night of the Living Dead. And ironically, I remember my mother, God rest her soul, she was really upset because it was a double feature. They played the 10 Commandments and then Night of the Living Dead.
That's insane.
And it was like, what?
That's crazy.
But anyhow, guys, here's the thing. Me, I'm down with all those zombie movies from the late 60s, 70s, and even 90s, the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Right? What screwed me, man, was the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because for one, bro, like, I'd be like, oh, I should be in a zombie movie, you know what I mean? Or if it happened, I can get away. But see, I'm a heavy set dude, bro. And when they started running, bro, that thing, it just, come on, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree. I 100% relatable. Like that's how I felt with Zombieland. Because when I was watching Zombieland, there in the very beginning, there's a fat guy getting chased and he gets fucked up by the zombie. So that stuck with me in the theater. I was like, damn, I would be that fat guy. Fuck, So
right.
That inspired me to lose a little bit of weight. I was like, I don't want to be that guy.
Right? No, so check this out. I'll tell you guys something. I don't know if you guys know this. The movie Dawn of the Dead, the original, right, on Blu-ray, it's valued at a very high price.
Yeah. Oh no, I have the Blu-ray, bro. The Blu-ray costed me about like $60.
Yeah. No, hey man, it's going for more now.
Yeah.
I ended up finding it, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I ended up finding it one time, but lucky I found it at a pawn shop for like $5 or whatever.
Oh, that's a steal.
I bought it at the time. I didn't even know.
That's a steal.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So there's another two movies I want to put you up on, in case you don't know, which I'm pretty sure you do of these. Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. Peter Jackson.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's Dead Alive is notoriously one of the most goriest movies of all time. That's one of the most bloodiest, goriest. They use I don't know how many gallons of blood for that movie, like over 100. I think they use over 120 gallons of blood for Dead Alive. I could.
Definitely.
The lawnmower scene, like at the end, the fucking lawnmower, he's chopping up the zombie.
The
I fucking love that, bro. It's awesome. I am a sucker for that. I love that shit. Love that shit. I would take that any day over CGI blood and gore. I would take that any fucking day.
No, yeah, and it's over the top. It's a comedy too, though, but it's like over the top.
Absolutely.
And it's pretty good. I mean, if it might get some people to be like, "Whoa, this is too much." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other thing,
I can see people being grossed out by Dead Alive because of all like the blood and the food and all the snot and the mucus. It's a nasty movie. It's a gross movie. It is.
Man, no pudding, and it's like the pus comes. Oh my god, yeah. But check this out. Here's another one.
Kicks ass in that movie. I love the priest. I love the priest in Dead Alive. He kicks ass. He's like, I kick ass for the Lord.
For the Lord, yes. No, you know what? Here's another one, bro. And it probably sounds better than it really was. I think if they did a remake now, it would be awesome. And the only the semi-known actor, there's Dennis Christopher. The more known actor is Mickey Rourke. And it's a movie from 1980 called titled Fade to Black.
Fade to Black. It sounds familiar. I don't think I caught it though.
No, well, check this out. Here, I'll put you up on it. It's about a guy who's a movie buff, right?
Okay.
And he works where they distribute movies, like old school. You know, it's like 1980. You know.
Yeah.
So he distributes movies, and then he gets picked on by a lot of people. Like, you know, like we were saying earlier, you're a nerd. You know, you're a nerd, and screw you, and you know they belittle him.
Right.
Well, this dude starts dressing up as characters, as Dracula, as Hopalong Cassidy, as a mummy, and he starts killing these people.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds better than what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay. A shy, lonely film buff embarks on a killing spree against those who browbeat and betray him, all while stalking his idol, a Marilyn Monroe lookalike.
Yes.
I'm
That's
adding
the one.
it. I'm gonna add it to my watch list.
That's the one, brother. That's the one.
All right.
Hey, but, you know, I thought I'd give you up on that, man. Give you guys that one.
Thank you,
but yeah,
bro.
that's it, man. Thank you, and thank you for calling back, guys. Great talking to you, and yeah, I just want to tell you guys that.
Hey, Fred.
Keep up the movie stuff, bro.
Yeah, you know, that was my next question. How do you feel this type of like the horror movie edition of Freaky Tales? Do you enjoy it? As far as
I love it, bro.
Okay, good.
I love it. You know what? I'll tell you guys like this. I collect movies, bro. I collect movies.
Me too.
I've collected from VHS,
Me too.
DVD,
Yeah.
Blu-ray,
Me too.
and then now I'm putting them on a flash drive, and I have a George A. Romero folder where it has all the movies that you guys talked about, you know, and then the other ones, of course, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
yeah,
my
man.
guy.
That's
my
awesome,
guy.
guys.
All right, my
No,
brother.
yeah, definitely, guys.
And
Hey, thank you, guys.
I was born in 97, but I was born just in time to live through the VHS age. Only shortly, maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5 years until VHS moved on to DVD. But I had classics on VHS, bro. Like I had fucking classics. So VHS.
Oh, yeah, no.
Still to this day, I'll collect. Like Goodwill, you'll come across $2 VHSs. Like you'll come, and I'll steal them, bro. I'll grab the hell out of all of them, bro. I'll grab them. Yeah.
No, definite, bro. No, and you know what? That's the lovely thing, bro. And I really enjoyed this episode. It's going, you know what I mean, in a little different direction, but still it's a great direction because I think people, you know, we're losing that where people enjoy a film, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, like, you know what I mean? Everybody's so stuck on this reality TV kind of stuff. It's like, no, bro, enjoy a movie.
Exactly.
Where anything can happen, you know what I mean?
And the cool thing about movies is that there's so many to pick from. Like if you don't love if you don't love this movie, then this one will be your cup of tea. You know, like there's so many to choose from. Yeah.
Definite, bro. Definite, guys.
Thank you, Fred. We're trying to get out of here. Have a blessed night,
Okay,
homie.
brother.
Okay,
Hey,
we'll talk
you as
further.
well, man. Thank you
My
again.
brother, peace. Holla at me, bro. I love talking to you, man. Holla at me about movies. I love it.
Likewise. I'll follow you on Instagram, bro. I'll message you.
Got you. Message me, bro.
All right, brother.
All right. Thank you. That was it. We could take off these lovely headphones. I was getting hot under those damn headphones. You know what? But I actually like this, you guys. Like on a movie night, you're sitting there in the dark watching World War Z or Dawn of the Dead in 2004. This was actually pretty good. I like this. Yeah. You know, the old man drink. Man, how you said it?
Yeah, old man straight up, no mix.
No mix. Just go ahead and just pour and sip on it. Some popcorn. Next time we'll have some Oro Red and Vodka popcorn. My favorite popcorn to make at home. Other than that, really quick before we leave, what are some of your favorite foods you would sneak into the movies?
Oh man, I'm a Gordo man, so hot Cheetos, hot Cheetos all day. I would get the small 2 for $1, like
Okay.
2 for $1 bags at the liquor store. I would like stuff my pockets with them, bro.
No shit?
Yeah, especially when I was like broke and didn't have enough like to get the popcorn at the stand.
Right.
I was like, shit, I'm about to find a way. So I just like stuffed my pockets with those small ass hot Cheeto bags.
But you got to be quiet opening up that
Oh
wrapper.
yeah, because you'll hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta be like the fat kid. I gotta be like this and shit. Like just waddle and shit.
For me, it's always been Jack in the Box.
Nice.
Jumbo Jack or 2 hamburgers or 2 tacos and we looking around, making sure nobody fucking looks at you.
The security usher doesn't matter, Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now, do you have a big screen at home, like to watch your movies?
Yeah. I would say my TV's about, I'm gonna say 65 or 70 inches.
Okay, mine's 75. I'm looking into. I saw only one though, but it was by I want to say Sanyo, and I didn't like. All I buy is Sony. And I haven't seen Sony drop a 90 I want to buy a 90.
That's sick.
So right now I have a 75, but
that's sick for the living room. Like just straight walking in the living room. Pow, we
bro,
got that big ass screen.
And I got 2 JBL speakers. I'll be bumping the shit out of that, bro. So I love horror movies, and
war movies are the best for that sound bar too,
Yes.
because all that and all the explosions going off. That shit sounds like you're in the fucking movie.
like Saving Private Ryan.
yeah.
Fuck, awesome movie. Let me see. Okay, other than that, my bro, anything we didn't cover?
I killed it. You covered my favorite movie of all time, Day of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead's in my top 5. Romero's my favorite filmmaker of all time. We got to talk about World War Z, some of the modern films, some of the modern zombie difference between slow and fast zombies. Yeah, I'm happy, bro.
Oh, good.
Zombies are my heart. So
Yes. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Please comment. Even if you didn't like it, please comment and share it once again. And if you guys liked it, then we'll see them. If you guys the good comments that you guys left and you guys want us to do it again, I would like to cover vampire movies.
I would love to.
And eventually, like I said, just thinking ahead, eventually alien movies. You know what I'm saying? Because
I would love to, dude. Like I can name 10 UFO films or alien films as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can name.
I will say one. I mean, obviously, I grew up with it because of my dad. Obviously, Close Encounters.
Yeah, classic.
But I also have to say Signs.
Signs might be my personal favorite. And Signs, the only thing I'm mad about is the ending, that it's water.
Right.
Because they come to our planet and it's like, we're like 75% water. That's the only thing. Everything else creeps the shit out of me. Like I had nightmares off of Signs.
Yeah.
I had vivid nightmares. Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is great.
Yeah. And Joaquin, we're used to him playing like maybe like a standoffish or a fierce or like a very moody kind of guy. But in Signs, he's a goofball. In Signs, he's a very clumsy, goofy, he could be your brother character.
Yes.
And he kills it. Like, that's one of my favorite Joaquin performances in Signs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's underrated.
Once again, I'm going to have him comment you guys on once the video, as soon as we log off, it's going to be up. I'm going to have him comment from the page where I want you guys to follow him you guys can view his reactions when he reacts to these movies. And then we'll have him back eventually, and we'll cover, vampire movies because I really want to talk vampire movies. So, but we probably won't cover Twilight. But anyways, other than that, my brother, you want to give some shout outs?
Now, shout out my brother Casper right here. Check out his YouTube channel, What Up It's Casp. He also does reviews himself.
Awesome.
And he reacts to highlights and sports, basketball highlights and stuff. And we're getting off the ground, but it's fun. It's like we're just having personal thoughts on our shit.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll have him even comment so they can follow him as well. Follow me on my page.
Nice.
Blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
Okay. All good. Other than that, I want to thank once again Apple for coming through. You know what? This dude is very, very knowledgeable. I feel like I have a video store on legs. That's how I can describe
That's one
him.
of the best compliments ever. That's for a film nerd. That's one of the best compliments.
So much love, much respect, and thank you for coming through and sitting down with me and having a drink with me in the balcony.
Thank you, brother. I had a blast, man. I had a blast.
Likewise. Also, let me thank my team. I want to thank my team, Norbert. If you guys didn't check out News with Norbies on my other platform, we went live last night. Definitely go check that out. I want to once again thank for it. Shout out to him. Also, shout out to Alex Cervantes Enterprise. If you guys need a car to be fixed, follow him on 81. That's what it's called. Go to my page on Instagram. Look up 81. He spells it with a 8, I believe. Right, Alex? Okay, 8. Follow him. You guys need your car to be fixed. This guy fixes cars, okay? Daz Dillinger was just at his shop the other day. So we got people going over there. Also, my son, B. Scallons, for helping me promote this. And the Hip Hop Jedi, once again, who always uses the Force inappropriately. Other than that, hopefully we'll be back next week on Freaky Tales. And I go live Sunday on my other podcast. So much love, much respect. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Everybody in the live chat, all the callers, everyone, thank you. And I think we have one live chat before we leave. Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
All right, actually, we have 2 now.
Okay, go for it.
So it's going to be Lazy 408, drop 5. What do you guys think of the scariest macaw feathers sash? Oh, I'm sorry. Of the scarlet macaw feather sash robe found in Utah that was dated to ancestral Pueblo civilization 1150 AD.
Oh wow. Damn, that's crazy. How recent was that?
They didn't put that.
Oh, they didn't put that.
It's called the Scarlet Macaw Feathers Sash.
No, I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
No, me too. Because
Yeah.
my thing is this. I mean, other than maybe somebody being a historian, how do you date that?
It's a good question.
You know,
it's a good question.
It's a bio. As feathers, you can carbon date that.
What? But well, go for it. Go for it.
The only thing you can't carbon date is stones. Maine Ortega dropped $9.99. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Thank you. Have a blessed night.
That is
You
all.
too. Have a good night.
As a matter of fact, have a creepy ass night because today's Friday, Freaky Tales Friday. And you know what? This is actually pretty nice. This will go good if you're watching a movie. Guarantee you. What's it called? Dulce?
Yeah, Dulce.
Dulce. It's
Dulce.
like, it's como dulce, pero dulce if you're bougie. So this is good. And what did you have to drink in the balcony over there?
Jameson and ginger ale, my personal favorite.
Yes. So, and I know a lot of you
fro
guys
favorite.
have snuck in the movies and snuck in liquor. Okay, so we see you. So other than that, thank you. Much love, much respect. We are out of here. Expect the unexpected. Once again, Afro, muchas gracias.
Thank you, brother.
Hopefully see you again.
Yes, sir. I'd love to.